Game 2 of a 3-game series here at Baylor Ballpark. Bears and Cardinals, as the Baylor Bears look to better their footing and extend their 4-game winning streak, while the Cardinals look to snap one, a losing streak of their own, as they come to Baylor, a struggling team on the road. They look to turn that course around. We mentioned it a little bit in yesterday's broadcast, 11 runs at home, just 4 on average when they're on the road. They plated 7 last night, but Baylor came out on top 13-7 after scoring 13 runs in the first 4 frames. Those were unanswered runs until the 5th inning rolled around. Hi, everyone. I'm Foster Nicholas, joined by Joe Pratt. This is Baylor Lariat Radio and more Baylor baseball. A good matchup today as Colin McKinney for the Bears faces off with Isaiah Zavala for Incarnate Word, sitting just 4 strikeouts away from the 200 mark. So a pitcher's duel could be en route. But some wind today, trying to make up its mind whether it's blowing straight out towards center or pushing towards the right field foul pole. But the wind will be blowing, and maybe not a 5-home run game like we saw last night, Joe.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the flag in center field blowing a lot, kind of swirling around, and, not very clear skies. Overcast day today, much different from yesterday. Sun splashing the whole field, and now today going to be playing under these dark gray clouds. It looks like the rain will hopefully subside. I don't think there's any rain predicted in the forecast at all. But, yeah, this is going to be a great day for baseball. Incarnate Word wearing some interesting jerseys over there, black tops with those white pants. We always talk about interesting when teams wear black jerseys in day games, but that's not decisions we're making. Let's take a look at those starting pitchers. I mean, incredible year put together here from Colin McKinney in response of last year, not being able to pitch, taking that redshirt season, and then he's really figured things out, especially, as a starter. But in recent games, maybe running into some trouble. He had kind of a stretch there early on in the season where he was giving up a lot of earned runs, but then as the season went on, he started to really pound the zone a bit more, and he's up nearing the 30-inning mark, so he's had a lot of time out there, and hopefully he's able to get some run support today, because they got it last night, but you said they got all their runs in the first 4 frames. They didn't get any in the last 4, so that momentum going to need to be carried into today.
Starting lineups for Incarnate Word and Baylor on the way. Starting off with the Cardinals in Game 2, this this midday match on Saturday. It's going to be Cameron Cayley leading things off. Still no sign of Harrison Cayley in Baylor's starting lineup, but a family showing for the Cayley family, as you can see parents, families, and family friends all wearing some shirts that read Baylor and Incarnate Word with the name Cayley on the back. So he's leading things off after a 2-for-4 day yesterday, followed up by the third baseman Grant Randall, played short yesterday, and then in the 3-hole, the designated hitter Dalton Beck, who had a 2-run shot over the left field fence in the first inning of yesterday's ball game. In the 4 spot, Ryan Scott doing the cleanup work, playing first base. Second baseman Tony DeJesus right behind him, and the right fielder Sam Tormes in the 6th spot after pinch hitting yesterday in the 7th inning. To close it out, 7, 8, and 9, catcher J.D. Gregson, left fielder Daniel Calabrese, and the 9-hitter, the shortstop, Weldon Sherrill. Pitcher again for Incarnate Word is Isaiah Zavala. We'll have more on him as we hit the bottom of the first inning and the Baylor bats step up to the plate. And, Joe, kick it to you for the Baylor starting lineup.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. A bit different from yesterday. One change as Enzo Apodaca leads it off. Again, he hit his 3rd home run in last night's game. He's followed up by Ty Johnson playing in center field, batting in the 2 spot after last night's game as well. Really great game from the top of this order, Foster. 2 hits for Enzo, 3 for Ty Johnson last night, and another man in the lineup who extended his on-base streak to over 20 games. Wesley Jordan bats 3rd. Daniel Altman finds his way back into the cleanup spot, playing at second base. Batting 5th, Hunter Toplansky. He plays at 3rd base. Zach Mazok gets in the lineup. Didn't get the start last night, but gets into the game today as the designated hitter in the 6th hole. 7, 8, and 9 in the order. Cole Posey gets the start at first base again. Tyreek Kemp at short, batting 8th, and Cortland Castle will be the 9-man. So shuffling it up a little bit, Foster, in this game. They'll be going up against Isaiah Zavala, Colin McKinney on the mound for the Bears. Hopefully this offense is able to recreate what they did in the first half of yesterday's contest.
Poised to be a good one here at Baylor Ballpark on Saturday. We'll take a quick break, get you the umpire crew and more on the starting pitchers when we come back.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Bears and the Cardinals coming your way as first pitch is just minutes away. Foster Nicholas and Joe Pratt bringing you the action. As Joe had mentioned, some overcast skies. Looks as if it's going to rain, but none showing on the radar. As it's 76 degrees with some slight wind pushing towards center field at 11 miles per hour. But the air's a little bit thicker, still unsure if the ball will carry today the way that it did yesterday. Saw a 2-run home run in the top of the first for the Cardinals, and then in the bottom of the first, Baylor responded with a grand slam, and the ball was clearly floating through the air with no hesitation yesterday. I question, however, if that will stick around today. Defensive alignment for the Bears as the Cardinals are getting ready to take their first at-bats. Battery mates on the mound, it's Colin McKinney, and behind the dish is Cortland Castle, his second start of the series. On the infield, Cole Posey gets his second start as a collegiate first baseman. Had a lot of work in the outfield, second base, shortstop, heck, even third. He mentioned post-game yesterday. Yesterday was really the last position he needed to fill off the bucket list. He's been a bullpen catcher, and he's actually come in to pitch a game. So that was the last position he needed to fulfill, and that's where he slots out today at first, second, and short. Daniel Altman, Tariq Kemp, and at third is Hunter Toplansky. Outfield from left to right, they're looking at Wesley Jordan, Ty Johnson, and Enzo Apodaca. Showed Caleb Bergman up there on the Jumbotron, but I think they may have had that one wrong. Bergman started yesterday in left, but with Mazok coming in to do the DH work, they're trusting Wesley Jordan out there to do the left field duties. Yeah, and it's interesting. Bergman, a career-high 3-hit game last night, went 3 for 4. Clearly a great day at the plate for him. 3 really strong line drives, too. Not just doinks into the outfield. He really got a hold of those balls, but you know, coaches will make adjustments, and they're just trying to get the best fit against the pitcher in Isaiah Zavala. And so that's why you see some changes there, I think. And maybe we'll see him later on in the ball game, you know. But it's interesting, you know, that Mitch Thompson will use a lot of different guys and shuffle up the lineup on a day-to-day basis, because on the Incarnate Word side, it seems like they kind of roll with similar guys in each and every game. Although we got a few guys in this lineup who we saw last night didn't necessarily get the start, but were defensive substitutions. But some looks for some guys in starting positions that they're not normally in. Only one left-handed pitcher would be available for the Cardinals to use today, and that may be a reason why Zach Mazok slates in there after the usage of left-handed reliever Luke Smith, and then the starting pitcher Josh Salinas. There's only one left-handed reliever in there, maybe a left-handed starting pitcher tomorrow, but wanting to get the bat that really crushes the righties in the lineup in that 6-hole being Mazok. But we're underway as Cameron Cayley digs in. First pitch of the afternoon, finds the strike zone at 95 mile an hour. McKinney already hot on it as we're underway at Baylor Ballpark. McKinney going to be working from the windup. Set there at the belt, now fires away. Cayley taking again, this one too far outside at 94, 1-1. Baylor wearing their home whites with pinstripes going up the pants and jerseys. No players in the field have the pants rolled up to the knees. They're all the way down to the ankles, showing a shade of the green socks. Big swing and a miss by Cam Cayley, down to 1-2. Got the BU logo on the left chest in green with the gold lining. Green undershirt for McKinney all the way down to the wrists. 1-2 pitch to Cayley. Big swing and a miss. He starts out his day with a strikeout, and the Baylor infield will toss it around.
Great pitch from Colin McKinney there. Goes upstairs, 94 mile an hour fastball, and gets Cam Cayley swinging, who had a good day at the plate in yesterday's contest.
4 pitches, all 4 fastballs, and the only one that missed didn't miss by much. So McKinney working with velocity and control on his side. 2 hitting third baseman, the senior Grant Randall, digs in from the right side, coming off a hitless campaign where he was pinch hit for last night. Bring it in at 92 miles an hour, and McKinney gets the first strike on the outside corner. Infield playing average depth. Daniel Altman at second has his heels on the outfield grass, so does Kemp at short. Pitch on the way. This one dribbled towards first. Posey's got it with no hesitation. His first true ground out. 3 unassisted as he takes it to the bag. Didn't have any of those opportunities yesterday, but fields it like a natural infielder. Takes it to the bag himself for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that's right. All the ground balls on the infield going to the left side. Tyreek Kemp had to make 6 plays, and Hunter Toplansky made 2, including the final out of the game, and a big reason for that, Mason Marriott, 8 Ks.
McKinney, he's set at the belt working from the windup as the left-handed bat, and Dalton Beck digs in. 94 miles an hour again. This one misses below the zone. Back-to-back batters with first pitch strikes is how he started off Cayley and Randall, and then falls behind Beck going 1-0. Swing and a miss by Beck. Went back to the fastball. We've seen nothing but gas from Colin McKinney so far. Just peppering the zone with fastballs and trying to find swing and misses. Beck will dig back in, the .414 hitter. Best average on the team. Fastball inside corner, misses. 2-1. Not missing by much is McKinney. He'll work in the mid-90s, touch as high as 97 in spring ball, and he's touched that once so far in the regular season. Fastball again, this one below the zone, 3-1. We've seen nothing but fastballs from Colin McKinney so far. Bottomed out at 92 and hit as high as 96. Righty set at the belt, lifts the knee and fires away. Outside corner, it's stuck there by Cortland Castle. He gets the strike call as Beck circles the bat towards the dugout thinking he had a free pass. Not so fast as he'll go walk over to the dugout, pick up the bat with some help of the man on deck. And Ryan Scott take a breath and dig back in with a full count. No hesitation from McKinney. Tan glove set at the belt. Fires away. Big swing and a miss. He gets out of it. 1-2-3 inning as McKinney flexes and heads to the dugout. Baylor bats look to strike first after the 1-2-3 inning. Still scoreless at Baylor Ballpark. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Bottom of the first inning at Baylor Ballpark. The bats looking to crack it for the first time. After a 1-2-3 frame worked by Colin McKinney, Baylor's going to get a look at Isaiah Zavala. The senior right-handed arm, as we mentioned pregame. Joe came up with the stat a couple minutes before we went on pregame. It's 4 strikeouts away from the 200 mark. He's been out there, worked about 202 career innings. This season he's worked 35 1/3, 6 appearances, 5 of which were starts, and 2 have finished in complete games. He's tied for the lead in the Southlands Conference in complete games with the couple that he has worked this year. Won't overpower any bats. Batters hitting .266 against him. And Baylor's going to have a couple of left-handed bats in Enzo Apodaca and Ty Johnson to set the table for Wesley Jordan, who hits third.
Now, this is a guy in Zavala who brings a lot of experience into this start. This will be his 37th collegiate start and his 5th season at Incarnate Word. So they throw the veteran out there, and he's done really well so far this season, lowering that ERA from where it was at last season.
Sits at 5.35 so far. His first pitch to Enzo Apodaca finds the inside corner of the strike zone. It's 0-1. As mentioned, Incarnate Word with the black jerseys, they've got red and white stripes going down to the shoulders. White pants rolled up to not quite the knee for the pitcher here in Zavala as he misses outside 1-1. You can still see the black socks, everyone with white cleats. Working from the windup, takes his time and fires away. Apodaca leans towards the catcher as he takes it inside, 2-1. White and black cap. Front of it is white with the UIW. Back is black. Set, fires inside. This one does find the strike zone, however, as Enzo Apodaca kind of pushes his tush out as if that one was close to hitting him. Instead, home plate umpire today and Shaler Smith said that one struck the zone. 2-2 pitch. Apodaca takes this one in the dirt, low and outside, 3-2. Apodaca, the only starter who has played every game for the Bears and has walked more than he struck out. Payoff pitch, line drive, deep center field. This one's got carry, but Cam Cayley races back towards it, and with his toes on the warning track, he reels it in for the first out of the inning. Hard contact at 95 miles an hour off the bat. It was a breaking ball from Zavala, and Apodaca tagged it, just didn't get enough as the wind hung it up there for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did last night. Fly ball into deep center field to record his first out. Of course, he went on to later hit his 3rd homer of the season, though, so maybe that's a good omen.
They'll bring up Ty Johnson, longest on-base streak on the team. 82 miles an hour, high and away, ball 1. Hitting at .310, is Ty Johnson. Three doubles, two triples, still awaiting his first home run as a Bear. Shows bunt, pulls it back, pitches too far outside, gets away from the catcher in J.D. Gregson. That's ball two. Defensive alignment for Incarnate Word today. From first to third, it's Ryan Scott, Tony DeJesus, Weldon Sherrill, and Grant Randall. Battery mates for J.D. Gregson and Isaiah Zavala. Get you the outfield after the 2-0 pitch. Too far inside, 3-0. From left to right, it's Daniel Calabrese, Cameron Cayley in center, and Sam Tormes playing right field. Lots of familiar faces from the game yesterday, but some new starters. From the windup, the 3-0 pitch, taking all the way, is Ty Johnson. Held the bat for a second, but the pitch missed outside, and he'll toss the bat towards the left-handed batter's box and jog towards first base. First base runner of the day for either ball club as Johnson works the walk. That'll extend his on-base streak to 21 consecutive games as he works the walk. That's the longest on the team and will push towards one of the longest in the Big 12. Isaiah Zavala will now switch to the stretch as Wesley Jordan digs in for his first at-bat today. Inside with a fastball, but it finds the zone. So after 4 consecutive balls, he bounces back. It's 0-1 to Wesley Jordan. Zavala, not a guy who walks a whole lot of batters, entered the game with 41 strikeouts to just 10 walks. So a blessing in disguise for Johnson, who stands at first, takes a couple of steps. 0-1 pitch, fouled straight back by Jordan. It's 0-2 on the big Baylor righty. Baylor found their offense in those first 4 innings, as we mentioned, yesterday. First, third, and fourth, they put up 4 spots in all 3 of those frames. Looking to find another crooked number. Jordan digs in, toes touching the chalk closest to home plate, crowding the plate. He'll have to wait for the pitch as a jump throw towards first by Zavala. Try to keep Johnson honest, but he's back there standing up.
Yeah, attempted a stolen base last night. The first time he actually got caught this season was 5 for 5 before trying to snag a bag.
Zavala pins the glove to the chest, now fires away as Jordan slings it straight back into the netting, stays alive after getting a piece. Yeah, Mitch Thompson talked about it postgame. He said he wanted to be aggressive. They're trying to do some things and get in the head of these opposing pitchers by just making everything difficult. They know the runner on first could take off. That's a lot more for the pitcher to handle than just focusing on the guy at the plate. Big swing by Jordan. Crushed it to left center field. Over the scoreboard and out of here. In fact, it hit on the Baylor Ballpark logo of the scoreboard. A no-doubt shot to left field as Wesley Jordan kisses them all. Absolute no-doubt shot. 2-0 lead for the Bears early in the first inning as Wesley Jordan finds the home run stroke as he finds his team leading 4th of the 2024 season.
Absolute bomb off the bat from Wesley Jordan. Takes control of the team lead in home runs, now at 4 on the season. He saw what Apodaca did last night, putting one into the river. He wants to do one better off the top of the scoreboard, and the Bears take a 2-0 lead again.
Well, Daniel Altman looks to follow that up as he digs in from the left-handed batter's box and takes it outside for ball 1. Jordan's put a lot of good swings on baseballs, but hadn't had that home run since he had a couple no-doubters against Texas Tech. Pitch low outside corner, breaking ball, evens it up at 1-1. So Jordan cements himself with the team lead after Apodaca tied it yesterday with his home run. Back to the breaking ball, outside corner for Zavala. Hits the zone, it's 1-2. Couple of practice swings for Altman as he digs back in. The senior second baseman awaits, thought about swinging, lays off as it bounces up to the plate, blocked by Gregson with no one on. Just extra effort to keep the ball in front of him as he fires it back to Isaiah Zavala. Once we have those numbers on the Wesley Jordan home run, we'll give those to you, but no doubt that was over a 400-foot shot. Big swing by Altman, comes up empty as Zavala climbs the ladder. Unable to touch it was Altman. He jogs back to the dugout, and Hunter Toplensky digs in for his first at-bat of the day. Baylor struck out just once yesterday. That was Enzo Apodaca. 28 at-bats until the Bears recorded their first and only strikeout in yesterday's ball game. They have one, though, here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Hunter Toplansky, lays off, check towards third base. No, says the third base umpire, Andrew Fulton. Rest of the umpiring crew, Shaler Smith at home, Michael Durantes at first, John Wolf at second, and Andrew Fulton manning third. Big swing by Toplansky. He's under this one just a bit, but it's deep to center. Cayley looks up. It's out of here. A big swing by Toplansky rockets off the bat at 101 miles an hour and clears the right center field fence where it reads George's. Name it Toplansky's as he rounds the bases and gives the Bears a 3-0 lead.
He got all of that pitch from Zavala, just powers it over the right center field wall. Middle in, 86 miles an hour, over 100 miles an hour off the bat. That one just kept on carrying way back into right center. The flag and the wind may have helped it carry up out of here, but they'll take it 3-0 in the bottom of the first.
Well, another home run threat digs in, and Zach Mazok swings first pitch and lines one to center field, just doing his job as he finds a single. It'd be easy in that situation to start swinging for the fences after two of your teammates had already punched one out of here. Instead, Mazok swings away first pitch, knocks it at over 100 miles an hour into center field, and finds himself at first.
Yeah, he actually hit that one harder than Hunter Toplansky's home run. Scorches that one straight back up the middle. One hop to Cam Cayley in center field. And how about Zach Mazok? Doesn't get the start last night, now into the game today as a DH, and takes advantage of the first pitch he sees.
Well, someone who did get a start last night, and Cole Posey hit a grand slam in the first inning yesterday. He digs in with Mazok on first, all the way back in the box as the foot is on the chalk. Takes the pitch low and in the dirt at 91 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Back to the Toplansky home run. It looked like he was under it initially as that ball just kind of popped up, and Cameron Cayley took a first step in. By the time he retreated, that ball was cleared the fence. Pitch to Posey. He lines this one towards right center field. Long run there for Tormes. Back to the warning track. He leaks, and he makes the play in front of the wall. A big swing by Posey, and he sends it all the way to the track, but he's not able to capitalize. Baylor, however, does. 2 home runs, plate 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits. We head to the second. Bears have the lead. It's 3-0. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Baylor bats are red hot after plating 13 runs in game one. I called it game run, but that's really what it was. It was a 13-7 win yesterday, and in the first inning today, Baylor plates 3 more to, I guess you could say, lead the series 16-7 if you go back to yesterday's run differential.
Yeah, and if you take the first 5 innings of these games, it's unbelievable. And now 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Good thing, in yesterday's game, they got 2 in the top of the first. Incarnate Word did on their own home run. And then the Bears bats got going, responding well with that Posey grand slam. But they got that exact same offensive output basically in that bottom of the first inning. 2 bombs, did it better than yesterday, but 3 runs on the board. Still got to keep chugging along.
Ryan Scott takes a big cut at Colin McKinney. He's not working away from that fastball as he breezes another one by an Incarnate Word batter. Scott, a 402 hitter, 402. Yesterday in the ballgame, he went 1 for 3, a couple of walks and a couple of runs scored. Takes this pitch outside to even up the count at 1-1. Colin McKinney shut down the side 1-2-3 in the first, and he looks to continue dealing. A couple of scoreless outings already on the year for McKinney. Goes to his first breaking ball, actually, at 83. It misses outside 2-1. He was just rocking the fastball and working with it as he moved forward. Back in the count, fires another fastball to Scott. He's under it, pops it foul down the first base line and out of play. It's 2-2. A couple of weeks ago, McKinney had a weekend Saturday start. Game was postponed due to rain, and Mitch Thompson was frustrated because he thought McKinney could go the distance the way he was pitching. Pins the glove at the belt, fires away, outside corner. Castle sticks it there, but he can't get the call. It's 3-2. Good pitch by McKinney, and the catcher Castle just held it behind home plate for a couple extra seconds, trying to bait the home plate umpire Shaler Smith into making the call. He didn't, and we await the payoff pitch. Foul down the first base line. Ryan Scott stays alive.
Yeah, it seemed like he was really comfortable in that Saturday game against Cincinnati, and a big reason for that was the offense for Baylor, giving him some nice run support, and hopefully he's able to work with plenty of that right now.
Ryan Scott all the way back in the box. McKinney working from the windup. Fires away. Breaking ball outside corner, called strike 3. Scott kicks dirt in the right-handed batter's box before lowering his head and walking towards the first base dugout, but McKinney, 4 batters faced, 3 of which shut down by way of the K.
Getting that first pitch strike has been so huge for him, and we've seen it early on in this game too. He likes to get that first pitch strike, really sets up the rest of the at-bat.
First pitch, slider towards Tony DeJesus, the sophomore second baseman. Pinpoint on the outside corner for strike 1. McKinney working with no delay, fires away here. DeJesus thought about swinging. He lays off. Same location. Went back to the same pitch, just didn't get the call this time. It's 1-1. Brings the glove to his belt, now to the chest, fires away, dribbled back to the backstop. DeJesus gets a piece of it, but falls behind 1-2. Right fielder Sam Tormes stands on deck. DeJesus had a great day in the field yesterday, flashing the leather at second base from beginning to end, and then also found himself a home run. Pitch, inside corner, calls strike 3. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Colin McKinney, with the past couple coming in the backwards direction. Got him looking as we have 2 outs here in the top of the second inning.
And DeJesus could do nothing but just watch that one perfectly placed low and inside, right off of his left knee, 94 on the gun, one that he clearly just would not even be close to being able to get around on. And Colin McKinney, he is cruising, just pounding the zone, seeing the zone really well, and got to respect Cortland Castle setting him up nicely too.
Sam Tormes going to dig in, takes the first pitch too high, ball 1, 95 miles an hour, so McKinney not losing any velocity on that fastball as he uses it more than 50% of the time. Goes back to it, outside corner, strike 1. Actually took something off of that one. Same release point, same look, maybe an added finger to take a little bit of velocity on that typical 3-finger changeup. Evens the count up at 1-1. Senior digs back in, outside corner, strike 2. Well, the redshirt freshman Colin McKinney certainly dealing. Not a single freshman or redshirt freshman at that in the Incarnate Word lineup, just one sophomore, and he shut him down with ease, showing that experience, nothing that can't phase McKinney. 1-2, swing and a miss. He strikes out the side, points to the sky, and he walks off the infield after shutting down another 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the second with the Bears still holding tight to a 3-0 lead. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
To the bottom of the second inning, but we've got some fun stats to bring your way before Baylor kicks off their second inning to try and plate more runs. Joe, over under 450 on that Wesley Jordan home run.
Oh man, 450. I mean, that hit the top of the scoreboard above the 375 marker. Over.
It was over.
Come
for
on.
The second time this year. Wesley Jordan hit a ball 476 feet.
Wow.
Off the top of the Baylor scoreboard. Gave the Bears a 2-0 lead. They plated one more on a Hunter Toplansky home run. Tariq Kemp going to be the leadoff hitter here for the Bears in the bottom of the second inning as he takes a pitch in the dirt to open up the at-bat, 1-0. Isaiah Zavala back out there for the Cardinals. Working from the windup, goes to the fastball, strikes the outside corner, 1-1. Wesley Jordan talked about it with Mitch Thompson before the year, said he had light tower power, and he's clearly showing that off. High fastball misses to Tariq Kemp, 2-1. 476, that was a home run that was second all-time in Baylor history. A couple of months ago when Jordan hit it, he just tied that up and gave himself a couple of second-place home runs in terms of distance at Baylor Ballpark in the StatCast era. 2-1 missed outside. Now Tariq Kemp waits for a 3-1. Back at it, low and outside. Kemp works a walk. So the 173, or rather 177 hitting Tariq Kemp, he's worked his on-base percentage north of 305 now after working that walk as he's settled into that 8th spot in the Baylor lineup, trying to still find those base hits, but rattling together a couple as the season works forward and then works to the walk, not trying to do too much. He stands on first, and Cortland Castle has an opportunity to bridge the bottom and top of the lineup, put a couple on for Enzo Apodaca, who's on deck. Junior catcher is Cortland Castle, digs in now, working from the stretch as the pitcher. He's going to bunt this one to third. A nice bunt by Castle. Tough play is ranging in as the third baseman Randall scoops it up on the run. Sidearm toss to first. Retires Cortland Castle, but he does his job in putting Tariq Kemp in scoring position for the three best hitters in the Baylor lineup, being 1, 2, and 3 in Apodaca, Johnson, and Jordan.
Yeah, it's just a perfect sacrifice bunt from Cortland Castle. It does that really well on a string down the third base line. Doesn't put it too close to the pitcher for him to be able to go get it, and no chance to get Kemp at second. So now they're in business looking to get that fourth run across.
Enzo Apodaca will dig in after flying out to open up this ball game for the Baylor Bats. Breaking ball misses low and inside, ball 1.
You know, and I like that play. That's not something that we could have seen last night. We had Caleb Bergman in the 9th spot. Not that he can't lay the bunt down, but just having Castle down there, guy who can put in good ABs and put down bunts like that for the top half of the order to clean it up.
Yeah, whether it's Posey or Kemp who reaches, Cortland Castle can advance him. Apodaca is going to advance Tariq Kemp here as he grounds one on at 104 miles an hour towards the second baseman, into Jesus. He'll toss it to first and retire Apodaca, but the contact off his bat has been unreasonably hot. Even if he doesn't find green grass, and he didn't there, he just found dirt, rolls it on the infield grass and finds the dirt over there for the second baseman, and that's not an easy play when you hit it at 104 miles an hour. Almost have to get down to a knee to make sure that one doesn't eclipse the glove. Well, with 2 outs, Kemp stands on third, and Ty Johnson digs in. First pitch to him, a breaking ball that misses high and in, 1-0. Baylor would love to extend this lead with that runner on third. Second at bat in as many innings for Johnson. Lines this one down the third base line. Pretty good cut, but he was late on it, and he sends it out of play. 1-1. Extended that on-base streak earlier today with the first inning walk, which he later scored. Yesterday he went 3 for 5 with a run batted in and a run scored as well. So have a series Ty Johnson. Pitch here, he takes it outside. Not a competitive pitch from Zavala. Puts himself behind in the count, 2-1. Toes touching The front of the box, pitch on the way, misses outside again, 3-1. Ty Johnson not one to really shy away from crowding the plate. As for many of these Baylor batters, the person who crowds it the most is probably Enzo Apodaca, who hit right before him. Pitch on the way, 3-1, way too far outside. Second walk of the day for Ty Johnson. The guy who's hitting north of 300 and definitely wants to swing the stick, but he'll take whatever he gets as his on-base percentage is now just shy of the 400 mark. Have a mound visit as the pitching coach not happy with what he's seeing from Zavala. Had to go to the bullpen after 1 2/3 yesterday from the starting pitcher Salinas, who's been one of the best pitchers not only in the Southland Conference but in collegiate baseball after Baylor tagged him for a flurry of runs. And now Zavala in trouble with runners on first and third and 2 outs here, and the big bat in Wesley Jordan, who pimped a 2-run home run in the first inning.
Yeah, and this is pretty uncharacteristic from Zavala, too. He's been a high strikeout, low walk guy his entire career at Incarnate Word. I mentioned he's 4 strikeouts away from the 200 career mark. He's at 197 now, entered this game with just 80 walks. And so those walk numbers are really low, but in recent games, his last 3 has walked 7 batters, despite, some pretty solid appearances, including the complete game, as you mentioned, at Texas Southern. But he has run into some issues here in his last 2 starts, and clearly that has continued into this Saturday contest.
Well, we mentioned that those Incarnate Word bats, they're not really ones to travel on the road, but the pitching certainly has for the Cardinals, just not necessarily to Baylor Ballpark thus far. First pitch to Jordan, massive swing. He tosses the bat towards the dugout, and Mitch Thompson had to duck and sit down as that one definitely blew a wind gust towards his noggin. As he now stands back up, leans on the fence as if nothing happened, took a deep breath, and is going to walk around a little bit. And Wesley Jordan takes a couple of practice swings, rubs the bat with a little bit of sticky stuff so that he can hold on. Digs back in with an 0-1 count, but he was certainly looking to send another pitch out of the park. Runners on the corners, Bears up 3-0. Toss it to first. Johnson dives back in safely. In this bottom of the second inning, Bears plated 3 in the first, and a home run would even that mark here in the second inning. Not saying it's going to happen, but Wesley Jordan would be the guy. Glove pinned to the chest, back pick towards first base. Johnson dives back in. Gosh, it's hard when you got a Johnson and a Jordan hitting 1 and 2, or rather 2 and 3. One's on first and one's at the plate. 3-step lead for Johnson at first. Tariq Kemp's going to bounce around at third to try and get in ahead of Zavala. Wesley Jordan all the way back in the box. Kemp now thought about bouncing around. Pump it towards first. Fire it to third.
Have you ever seen that?
It's very close towards a balk, as Zavala had to throw if he picks off towards first or third. He pumped it to first, and he saved himself by throwing it to third. But not a big lead for Kemp. He's just kind of bouncing. Pitch line down the left field line, just foul as Wesley Jordan a couple of inches away from plating another Baylor run. Is that 91-mile-an-hour fastball, 105 off the bat. This guy is just making hard contact time after time. And while he was swinging for the fences the first time, that time he was just trying to get barrel on ball, and he certainly did so without trying to make a vicious hack. He's behind 0-2, though. Goes to the breaking ball, bounces up to the plate, and Zavala saved by the catcher Gregson as he goes down to his knees to keep that one in front. It's 1-2. Bears scored 4 runs in that first inning yesterday with 2 outs. That was a grand slam from Cole Posey, so certainly not down and out with 2 out in the inning. Another back pick towards first base, and Wesley Jordan just has some more time to take a breather and figure out how he wants to attack this next pitch. Zavala is set, had the ball at the belt, now brings it up to the chest. Tariq Kemp's going to bounce around, high leg kick, pitch towards the plate, too far, low and outside, 2-2. Good eye from Wesley Jordan. I think specifically when you make that contact at 105 and then a 476 home run, maybe really wanting to swing, but nice job of laying off and waiting for a pitch he can do that to again. 2-2. Big swing. Shallow fly ball left field. This one could find green grass, though. It does. It bounces in front of the left fielder, Calabrese. Ty Johnson's going to go first to third, and Wesley Jordan's going to dive into second base with a double. Rather, it's going to go as a single and advances to second on the throw. Wesley was under that one, sent it right down the left field line. Couldn't have gone more than 250 feet. It just found no man's land. As the ball that's been carrying so well, it just kind of died for the first time today as it plates a run, and the Bears extend their lead to 4-0.
Yeah, you're right. He took a big hack at it, but didn't get all of it. Kind of jams him and then strokes it down the left field line, and a seeing eye single able to fall in, as you said, in no man's land, and they'll take it any way they can. 4-0 Bears.
First pitch to Daniel Altman misses high and away, 1-0. Altman a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Digs in from the left side, does the senior second baseman. 315 hitter, and with runners in scoring position, he's hitting 361. He's got a couple of ducks on the pond. Pitch on the way, right down the middle, but too low. 2-1. Tempting pitch, as that one was indeed middle. Back towards the point at the back of home plate. But it was just below the knees of Altman. He lays off, finds himself ahead in the count, 2-0, not trying to do too much. Worked 3 walks in the game yesterday and was hit by a pitch. 2-0. Thought about swinging, held up. Pitch broke below the strike zone, 3-0, as Zavala sighs as he looks towards the home plate umpire, wondering where that one missed. 44 pitches today for Zavala, 24 of which have missed the zone. 3-step lead for the runners at second and third. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way was Altman. Gets that strike call, a delayed strike call at that on the outside corner, as Altman was waiting for the home plate umpire to basically make him not throw his bat towards first base, or rather third base, where the dugout is for the Baylor Bears. So he'll dig back into the box with a 3-1 count. Infield playing deep, first baseman and second baseman, heels on the grass. Pitch fouled straight back into the netting. Altman stays alive, just kind of tips it back. Pitch high in the zone and outside. That was a pitch that Altman would have had to go the other way with if he wanted to plate some runs.
Yeah, anything pulled on the ground to the right side, likely, if it's able to get through, scores at least 1, maybe 2.
Johnson bounces around at third, and Altman lines it to center. It'll get down in front of Cayley. Rounding third, heading to the plate is Jordan. He'll score with no throw. A 2-out, 2-run single from Daniel Altman puts the Bears on top, 6-0. Keep it rolling, Baylor bats. After plating 3 in the first on a couple of home runs, Baylor just playing small ball here in the second. Couple of walks, a couple of singles, and 3 runs scored. One of the guys who hit a home run, that being Hunter Toplansky, now digs in with Daniel Altman on first and 2 outs. Altman, a delayed steal towards second. He slides in. He's safe is what the umpire says, but from the throw, it looked like Altman was out by a mile. And the head coach over there for Incarnate Word puts his hands to his ears as Schatzberger wants a review.
Yeah,
from our vantage point, that was...
It was a late takeoff from Altman. I mean, it would have been a much easier play to decipher if the throw wasn't towards left field a little bit, and the shortstop Sherrill kind of had to reach back across his body and then swipe the tag to get Altman. Yeah, that's going to be a close play. Really tough to tell in real time, I think, because it's hard to tell if maybe he reached with the outside hand to the center field side of the bag. So if he got tagged, it would have been kind of more towards his left arm, left shoulder area. But yeah, delayed takeoff there. He's up to 20 RBIs on the season. How great has Altman been in stepping up after a few injuries? Really put him in that spot to be the starting everyday second baseman, as we're getting a replay up here in the booth. Well, now they just cut it off right before the play happened, but I'm not sure if this one's going to stay, Foster. Really kind of did look like they got the tag in. Of course, it was a delayed steal, as you said, but got to like the aggression that they're having on the base paths.
Trying to get in the head of Zavala, who's obviously doesn't have his best stuff. Pitch was a strike to Hunter Toplansky.
Yeah, and Toplansky, I mean, how great has he been in these last 5 games? 5-game hit streak, 9 for 19 in his last 5. Of course, the home run his last time up.
So that would be 10 for 20.
That would be.
He's hitting 500 in his last 5 games.
Yeah, and he has 12 RBIs in that span, too. 12 RBIs the last 5 games. So.
A heck of a turnaround for Hunter Toplansky, who was really bit by the strikeout bug. And after that home run, actually. Hunter Toplansky has put himself with more hits than strikeouts in his 2024 season. He had not had that all year. I mean, struggled with strikeouts right out the gate in Arlington, and although he did have a hot start, hit about 358 over the first couple of weeks. There were still strikeouts there. It was either a base hit or a strikeout seemingly for Toplansky, and then there was a rut where it was just strikeouts or bust. And, well, more than often it was a strikeout.
Yeah.
And he's bounced back, and he's put himself up there with, at the moment, 32 strikeouts and 33 hits. Leads the team in strikeouts. In fact, leads all ball players playing today. In this ball game, at least, in strikeouts, but he's bounced back phenomenally.
Yeah, he really has, and I think a lot of credit to that can be given to the guys around him in the lineup. I think, when you have guys in the top of the order who can get on base, it's just that much more important to, put in some good ABs, and it seems like Toplansky's really been taking that to heart, and you watch him in batting practice, he'll sit there and he'll just stand there with flat feet, kind of just working on getting his hands through and working on the upper body part of the swing as the bottom half can kind of follow, as we do have a decision, Foster, and Altman's going to stay on second.
He is going to stay on second. They ruled Daniel Altman safe at second base as he slid in there. The tag definitely hit Altman's hand as it looked like he slid into it, but his right hand was actually on the base by the time that he basically grabbed the glove of the shortstop, Sherrill. So Altman safe at second. 0-1 is the count to Hunter Toplansky with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 3 runs already across to capitalize on a 6-0 lead. Outside fastball misses. It's 1-1. Isaiah Zavala working in those low 90s. Maybe falls below and hits 89. He peaked up at 93 in the first inning, but he hasn't touched that since. Brings the glove to the chest. Red Rawlings logo on the wrist. Fires this one, and that one hits Toplansky. He basically does a 360 spin, throws his bat towards the Baylor dugout, and throws his shin guard as well, as if to prove a message. And we've got movement, folks. There are 8 pitchers, or rather 8 players and a bullpen catcher. 8 players and 2 bullpen catchers. And 3 bullpen catchers running from the Incarnate Word dugout towards the bullpen. We're gonna have some action out there as the Bears have runners on first and second with 2 outs, and Zach Mazok digging in for his second at-bat of the day. After a single with 2 outs last inning, he swings first pitch, pops this one up on the infield. That should do it for the inning. No infield fly because there's 2 outs. It's tailing towards the outfield grass, reaching back and diving and making the play is Sherrill. He lost it for a second, and the wind took a hold of the baseball, and it looked as if Mazok may have found a cheeky base hit, but instead Sherrill adjusts, and he catches that one at his shoelaces in the outfield grass for out number 3. Well, the Bears add on 3 more on a couple of hits. We'll head to the top of the third. Baylor on top, 6-0. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 half innings if you take it there. Baylor has scored 6 runs, and Incarnate Word has seen just 6 batters come to the plate, all of which have been retired. So we head to the top of the third inning. McKinney shutting down the first 6 batters he's faced. Steps back on the mound, faces J.D. Gregson, and the first pitch is popped up. First base side, foul territory. Cortland Castle loses the mask, ranges over towards the dugout, and makes the play for the first out of the inning. Not an easy play from Cortland Castle. That's the 7th straight batter retired by McKinney. Snaps 4 straight strikeouts, but an out nonetheless as McKinney keeps dealing. Just 28 pitches to get through 7 bats. As Daniel Calabrese digs in from the right side, the 342 hitting left fielder in Calabrese. Cortland Castle going to take some time to get the pitch calm right back into his mask, put the glove on, and now settle into his crouch. Yesterday, Calabrese had a pretty good game back in there in the starting lineup. Takes first pitch, but it's a breaking ball that finds the outside corner. Lots of break on McKinney's slider. For a right-handed bat, starts at the inside part of home plate and then tails towards the outer half. 0-1 pitch. Outside again. This one, the fastball, as he bounced back and solidly strikes it into the zone. It's 0-2. Calabrese was 1 for 4. It was great defensively yesterday. He'll nub this one towards second. Altman charging. Tough play on the run. Fired at first, and Cole Posey finishes it off for the second out of the inning. 8 up, 8 down as McKinney continues dealing. That one probably the closest to being a base hit, as it just had a weird roll, skid towards second base, and Altman makes the play.
Yeah, you mentioned the 4 straight strikeouts from McKinney. This time around, it's been the defense that's helped him out. 2 really impressive outs that were made to look easy by his infielders, Castle, and now Daniel Altman throwing that one on the run.
Weldon Sherrill, the shortstop and 9-hitter, digs in for his first plate appearance, fouls the first pitch he sees out of the ballpark into the parking lot at Baylor Ballpark. No car alarms going off. Those have steeply declined since last year.
And everybody knows not to park over there now.
Well, the crazy thing is everyone still parks over there. Outside fastball misses. It's 1-1. If you haven't been to the Baylor Ballpark, a beautiful berm on the right side near the first base dugout, and then you got the grandstands, and just about 50 feet away from that is where you park to get into the ballpark, and usually sits off the car alarms, but we haven't heard more than maybe a couple this year. McKinney bounces back, breaking ball outside, 1-2.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of the players and coaches actually park over there, too.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. McKinney pumps the fist. That's 9 up, 9 down. The redshirt freshman is on his A game. Head to the bottom of the third as Baylor's bats looks to back him up. It's 6-0. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Colin McKinney is dealing, and the Baylor bats have been right behind him. It's 6-0 Baylor as we head to the bottom of the third inning. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio. Foster Nicholas alongside Joe Pratt. I mean, Joe, this has been about as perfect to start a series as you'd want. Baylor played 13 runs in the first 4 innings yesterday, and they've already played 6 in the first 2 today.
Yeah, but we saw the way that Incarnate Word's offense kind of surged in the second half of the last game. They got 5 unanswered in the last 4 innings of the contest, so going to want to keep pushing.
Cole Posey going to lead off this third inning of work. Swings first pitch, grounds one into left field. Open up the inning with a single as Cole Posey does his job. Second inning in a row where the leadoff hitter has reached base for the Baylor Bears. Tariq Kemp led it off last inning. He now digs into the plate. He walked and scored a run. So Posey with a base hit. Only guys without base hits in this lineup. And we're, of course, in the bottom of the third are Kemp, Castle, Apodaca, and Johnson. Only two of which have not reached base, that being Castle and Apodaca. First pitch to Tariq Kemp finds the outside corner, 0-1. Worth mentioning, Isaiah Zavala is back out there on the mound, although there are a couple of righties. I was going to say double barrel action, but no lefties up there, just two righties. Pop up, third base side, foul territory. Chasing after the third baseman, Randall. He'll watch it into the metal grandstand out of play, 0-2. Kemp stays alive. On base percentage for Tariq up to .313. I guess not. Oh no, I guess that's a great batting average, but the on base percentage hasn't been quite where Kemp would like it. North of .450 on the on base percentage at Western Oklahoma State last year. Transfer for Baylor in the offseason. Pops this one foul down the third base line out of play. Keep it locked at 0-2.
Yeah, and this is really what he does well. Down 0-2, but able to stay alive. Will foul off pitches all day long. Big reason that his on-base percentage is up to that mark. And, while he's not trying to do too much at the plate, the average isn't there. He still gets on base at a high clip.
Short lead for Posey on first, but why not check over there? Zavala fires over to first, and a couple of Baylor fans have their voice heard. He'll toe the rubber, 54 pitches, as he's yet to record an out here in the bottom of the third inning. Load up the knee. Posey fakes a steal. He retreats back to the bag as the pitch misses high and away. Definitely in the head of Zavala as someone on the third base side. I think it was the shortstop there that yelled runner. Got in the head of Zavala as he was throwing it, and he just missed with the pitch. Catcher came up looking to pop, but Cole Posey put on the brakes and retreated back to first base. 1-2 is the count to Kemp. Digs in with a red bat over his left ear. Swing, high fly ball, left field. This one tailing towards foul territory. It's going to be a long run for Calabrese. He finds it a couple of feet away from that fair foul line. It was still in fair territory. Punched it about 320 feet, but couldn't clear the 330 that it takes to punch it over the fence. Big swing by Kemp, but he's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, opposite field power for Kemp into the left field corner, deep down there, and a tough play made by Calabrese. So he's having to deal with a different side of the outfield. I believe he was in right field last night, and so it gets tricky when you get closer over to the bullpen over there, but seamlessly brings that one in.
Junior catcher Cortland Castle going to step up. Big leg kick, high fly ball left field. Lots of contact at the warning track. Makes the play, does Calabrese. Oh boy, did Cortland Castle tag that one to left center field. One of the deepest parts of this ballpark, just short of the scoreboard. And he sends it all the way to the wall where Calabrese tracks it down. A long run, and he certainly thought he had it all as it jumped off his bat. That guy did too. It hangs up out there, though, and is the second out of the inning. So back-to-back pitches that are sent to deep left field. But work is out for the Cardinals. After the long run from Calabrese, he'll look to take a breath, but Enzo Apodaca digs in. He'll get to take that breath as Apodaca takes 93 on the fastball, outside corner for strike one.
Yeah, kind of surprising they're deciding to leave Zavala in here against the best hitter in this lineup, especially after two scorched balls into deep left field.
Yeah, Apodaca's hit it hard. He just hasn't found green grass, but he may here as he lines this one to Calabrese. 3 lineouts or flyouts, if you have it, to Calabrese as he closes the glove and finds the baseball. We'll head to the fourth, and after a leadoff single, Bears go down in order. It's 6-0 Baylor. This is Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Colin McKinney looks to remain untouched as we head to the fourth inning at Baylor Ballpark. Redshirt freshman right-handed pitcher has seen 9 batters and shut them all down, with 6 of them going down on strikes. One of the best outings of the year for Colin McKinney as he looks to keep that rolling. It's going to be 1, 2, and 3 in the lineup as they'll have their second crack at the Baylor righty. Cameron Cayley, Grant Randall, and Dalton Beck. Cayley and Beck both struck out, and Randall grounded out to Cole Posey. Not a lot of hard contact, and rather not a lot of contact other than the ground ball by Randall between these 3 bats. McKinney came in with an ERA just north of 5. 5.46. He dipped that below that 5 mark. It's 4.96 after shutting down the first 9 bats. Cayley swinging first pitch, pops this one up towards us in the broadcast booth. Clears, I thought it cleared our head, but if there wasn't an awning, I think that one finds its way right on top of Joe's head.
Need a hard hat.
It's 0-1 to Cayley. Back in the box, fastball at 93. Smacks the outside corner, strike 2. So Cam Cayley with a couple of strikes on him for the second consecutive at-bat. Nothing but strikes for McKinney so far. 37 pitches, 27 of which have found the zone. Cayley swinging here. Pop-up, shallow left field. Tariq Kemp calls Hunter Toplansky off. It gets lost in the air, and it gets down in shallow left field where Tariq Kemp is laying on the ground, beating himself up. Well, we nearly saw a play like that when Zach Mazok popped one up, but the ball getting lost in the wind, in the air, in the sky, and it gets down for a base hit, and Cam Cayley breaks up the no-hitter for Colin McKinney as the first UIW batter to make their way on. Don't know how that one's a hit. Just lost it, and it got down. Bad communication, or rather, Kemp called off Toplansky. Had the right, just didn't find the ball. First pitch to Randall, inside corner. That's strike 1.
The wind is definitely swirling up there. You could tell Cortland Castle, he hit one that looked like it was long gone, and then the wind holds it up, pushes it back in. Now it's kind of just blowing straight towards center field, and it's really tough to read clearly.
High fly ball, right field by Randall. This one will get out of play, though, and find its way onto the berm. 0-2. Well, we'll keep an update on, or rather keep our eye on the scoreboard to see if that one sticks around as a base hit for Cam Cayley. Could see Mitch Thompson, who's not leaning against the dugout, maybe on the phone saying, that's got to be an error. Keep our line clean for Colin McKinney. Toss it over to first. He's safely back in there. 40 pitches on the day. 75% of them have gone for strikes for McKinney. 30-10. Glove pinned to the belt. 0-2 count. Checks first. Fires towards the plate. This one drills the inside shoulder of Grant Randall, and after not allowing a base runner for 3 innings, he gives up a single and then a hit by pitch.
Yeah, I got some arm side run on the fastball. It creeps up too far inside against Grant Randall, who kind of crowds the plate from the right side. Smaller guy, but still has got his toes on the chalk, and that time runs too high up and inside. McKinney's a guy who's been pounding the zone. Just the 11th ball he's thrown all day in 41 pitches.
Well, you mentioned how he crowds the plate. That was his 9th hit by pitch on the team. The rest of the starting lineup has combined for 8. That's for UIW. Breaking ball, 77. That's the softest pitch that McKinney has thrown. Misses below the zone, 1-0. Dalton Beck, the batter, left-handed designated hitter. Struck out in the first. He's got his batting average all the way to 402. Inside fastball. This one too far inside. Beck backs away. And he comes away in front, 2-0. "20 extra base hits on the year for Beck. Outside fastball. This one way too far outside into the right-handed batter's box where it's snagged by Cortland Castle. He'll pepper it back to Colin McKinney, and he'll look to get right with a 3-0 count on the batter with the highest batting average in this UIW lineup. Comes back towards the plate, outside corner, stick the pitch there does Castle, and Beck can't believe it as he was walking towards first and almost threw his bat towards the dugout. Just about every single UIW batter who gets that 3-0 count or think they've got to walk, they've thrown the bat. That's the first guy who hasn't thrown the bat, although he was seconds away. 3-1, wants to swing, lines this one down the left field line. It'll clear the bleachers and get out of play in foul territory, 3-2. So a bounce back from Colin McKinney as he looks to avoid the walk. Runners are on first and second, so the infield, rather middle infielders in double play depth as Altman and Tariq Kemper close towards that second base bag. Posey playing deep at first, Toplansky doing the same thing at third. 3-2 pitch, outside corner, just a bit too high, and McKinney thought he had the strikeout. He pounds his fist into the glove as if to gesture that that one was good enough to get the job done, but not quite, as he loses control of Beck and walks the bases loaded.
Yeah, he got through that first rotation of the lineup perfectly. I mean, no hits, 5 strikeouts, and now 3 straight base runners here at 1, 2, 3 in the order. So clearly just not being able to get those first pitch strikes. It seems like he's started off Cayley at 0-2, but he was able to get on base with the hit, and then Grant Randall was down in the count. He took a hit by a pitch. Dalton Beck gets ahead in the count, and then McKinney is able to battle back. So nice job from him to surge back, but Beck's a guy who's going to be really selective, look at a lot of pitches. We saw him kind of come off the other end of an at-bat like that his first time up in the first inning where they sent the count full and then got a called strike 3, was arguing with the umpire after that one. No complaints this time as they load the bases on the walk.
First pitch here to Ryan Scott, takes it low and outside on the breaking ball. James Leverton went out there and talked things over with Colin McKinney as Incarnate Word poises a threat here in the top of the 4th inning. Bases are loaded, no outs, just 1 hit on the day for Incarnate Word, and it came to lead off this frame. 1-0 pitch, out a breaking ball that is a bit too high, I guess, says the home plate umpire, Shaler Smith. It was a nice pitch by McKinney, and high breaking balls aren't usually where you want to leave them. Doesn't get the call to go his way, and he's well behind again, 2-0. Set, high leg kick, fires, line drive to Kemp. Has it on a hop, to second for 1. It gets away from the glove of Daniel Altman. The Bears won't get the force. Rally Randall from third to home, he'll score, and into third base from second is Beck. Tariq Kemp just didn't know the situation, and Daniel Altman wasn't ready. The bases were loaded with no outs of force at every base. He snagged it on a hop, could have gone home and get the force to prevent a run, or could have gone second to first and get the double play. He scoops it up, and then he just fires it too hot overhand while maybe 3 feet away from Altman. A overhand toss to second. The ball gets away from him, and 2 runs score on the error.
Yeah, definitely one that the middle infielders just got to be more in-tuned on there. That's one definitely needs to be an underhand toss, looked like there from Kemp. He throws it over top, and Altman can't really see it. He just lets it go by his left ear, and a couple of runs come in to score.
First pitch to Tony DeJesus is in there for a strike, so McKinney gets on top.
And they'll put that down as a fielder's choice and an error on Daniel Altman, so an error on him for not receiving that ball.
The count is 0-1 to Tony DeJesus. Baylor looking for a bounce back. He fouls this one straight back into the netting, so first time McKinney's been out in front since Cameron Cayley led off the inning down 0-2 and then later singled. Breaking ball low and inside, 1-2. So those are both. Actually, 1 RBI does go to Scott, as Cam Cayley is going to be an earned run, but an unearned run for Randall, as that was due to the fielder's choice error. Runners on the corners, 2-2 the count to DeJesus. Beck at third, Scott at first. Infield in double play depth. Pitch on the way. Fouled down the first base line. So after a spectacular start, Colin McKinney now searching for answers as Baylor will flood the dugout on their own and jog the entire bullpen. Rather, jog every single reliever and a couple bullpen catchers into the bullpen. Breaking ball high and away, ball 3. After being in front 0-2, Colin McKinney is behind now, or rather, is tied up with a payoff pitch on the way. Pushes the glove against his side. Now comes set. Can feel the tension as McKinney wants to get out of it. Fires, fouled down the first base line. DeJesus is not going to make it easy. The sophomore second baseman struck out in his first at-bat today. One of 6 batters that have been strikeout victims to Colin McKinney. All of those coming in the first 3 frames. McKinney pins the glove at the belt. Runner goes. Fouled straight back into the netting. Man on first and Ryan Scott took off to try and take away the double play ball. Beck at third. If that were a strikeout, Cortland Castle maybe fires that one to second and Beck tries to get fancy and head towards the plate. Baylor would trade a couple of outs for a run. Altman shades towards the second base bag. McKinney comes set. Pickoff towards first base. The payoff pitch going to have to wait. Didn't look like they were going to send Scott again. They could. A walk loads the bases. I think you're just trying to stay away from a double play ball. Home plate umpire going to talk with Colin McKinney and maybe gesture towards the second base umpire to make sure that there wasn't a balk by McKinney on his pickoff towards first base. They say no, as it was clean. Brings the glove to his belt. Checks first and fires towards the plate. Runner does not go, but DeJesus tags one again. Foul down the first base line. It's still 3-2. A lot of pitches this inning for Colin McKinney. Already eclipsing the 23-pitch mark in this inning. And he hasn't recorded an out. Set at the belt. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw it to second. Tariq Kemp has to dive for it as it was a bad throw. But he does indeed come away with the baseball. And Scott Beck has to stay at third because Tariq Kemp unordinarily flashed some leather by diving to come away with the ball. That could have allowed a run on an error, but the runner is out at second base. It's going to be an interference call on Tony DeJesus, which took Cortland Castle out of position to throw out the runner. Castle actually ran in, or rather, he stood up and he threw and connected with the batter. So that's a double play on a play where Incarnate Word was trying to prevent exactly that.
Geez, a lot to unpack there.
First pitch to Sam Tormes is outside ball 1, but you're right, Joe. I mean, just a funky play. As you still credit Scott with a stolen base, but he's ruled out because the hitter had interfered. Pop up straight back out of play. It's 1-1.
Yeah, and what won't be looked at in the score sheet is that amazing sprawling play by Tariq Kemp. He couldn't find his footing either. He kind of slipped and kind of just lunged his way over to get it and made a really nice play. Would have definitely brought in the third run for Incarnate Word.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball finds the zone. It's 1-2. McKinney a strike away from escaping the jam. He's given up 1 earned run this inning and 1 unearned run this inning. Still only allowed 1 hit in this ball game as we're sitting 3 2/3 deep. He's set at the belt, fires to the plate, breaking ball too far outside. Tormes didn't even think about it. It's 2-2.
This would be huge right here. A couple moments ago, you mentioned the pitch count in the inning. He was just at no outs in the frame. 2 runners were on. Now he's at 62 pitches, 3 pitches later, and a chance to get out of the jam.
Fires away. Pop-up. Infield. Foul territory. Castle loses the helmet, and it'll hit off the netting. Too far for Castle to chase after it, and the count stays at 2-2.
Yeah, geez, seems like the pitch comp pops out of the ear of Castle every time he removes the mask. Have to take a second. Now, McKinney with a chance to think things over.
He's ready to go. Has the ball at the belt, fires to the plate. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Finish it up and tie a bow. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning as McKinney gets out of it. His 8th strikeout of the day. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Baylor looking to get back those 2 that they gave up. It's 6-2 in favor of the Bears. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still out there on the mound is Isaiah Zavala, despite 3 relievers up in the Incarnate Word bullpen. Baylor's going to have 2, 3, and 4 due up in their lineup, that being Ty Johnson, Wesley Jordan, and Daniel Altman. Johnson and Jordan, a combined 2 for 2. Johnson doesn't have a hit. He's walked twice, but between the 2 of them, they scored 4 of Baylor's 6 runs. Johnson, a couple of walks, a couple of runs scored, and he looks to start out this inning in a similar fashion with reaching base. Shows bunt, pushes at it, comes up empty. That's strike 1. Not a bad idea, as the third baseman Randall was playing deep down the third base line, and Ty Johnson has good speed. Well, going back to the same depth as Randall, now he comes even with a third base bag as Zavala deals the pitch low and outside to make it 1-1. So Colin McKinney doing his job to keep this at a 4-run Baylor lead. Now the bats try and back him up a little bit. Big swing by Ty Johnson. He'll line this one down the first base line. It'll tuck its way foul and out of play. 1-2. 99 off the bat of Ty Johnson. Glove in front of the eyes of Zavala, working from the windup. Line drive, center field, base hit. Ty Johnson has his first hit of the day. He is the 6th Baylor batter to record a base hit today. 7th hit of the day for the green and gold. It's a ground ball right up the middle. It finds its way into center field as Cameron Cayley comes up with it, fires it in. And the Bears have speed on to lead off the inning with the power bat of Wesley Jordan digging up to the dish. Third at bat of the game for Jordan. Checked his swing. Outside pitch is called a strike anyway. 90 miles an hour on the fastball. 76-foot home run off the scoreboard for Wesley Jordan in the first inning to set the tone. Then he rifled a single to left field. Breaking ball high and in, misses 1-1. 3 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. So an all-around ball game for Wesley Jordan as he puts his batting average all the way up to .330 on base percentage at .431. 1-1 pitch. Big swing, but he just dribbles this one towards the third base dugout on top of a 78-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. And it was a breaking ball about chest high. That's where, as a pitcher, you don't want to leave those breaking balls high to Wesley Jordan. That's just danger zone. And he went and he took a big cut at it, but it was just a bit on top of it as that had enough break to escape the bat. 1-2. Goes back to the fastball. Same location, high in the zone. It's actually above the zone as Jordan takes it and evens the count at 2-2. Baylor righty digs in. Ty Johnson at first base takes a 3-step lead. Being held on there, he bounces around, now steps back. Pitch on the way. Line drive left field. This one going to tail about 2 feet foul. Hard hit off the bat by Jordan, nearly 90 miles an hour. Someone's going to go pick up that baseball, and Johnson going to retreat back to the bag and await another 2-2.
Got to stay back. We've seen him multiple times this game be way early on these pitches from Zavala.
Back in the box is Jordan. Chops this one off the catcher. Swing and just barely got a piece as it hit off the face mask of J.D. Gregson. Went straight up in the air and then bounced on the infield and rolled foul. So 2-2 is the count to Wesley Jordan. Zavala set at the belt, brings the glove up to the chest, stares down the big righty, fires away. Check swing, did he go around? The home plate umpire said he did. 80-mile-an-hour breaking pitch that stuck its way into the dirt, and Jordan was a bit too antsy, wanted it too much, and checked his swing, but he went down to a knee, so by that time, the bat was indeed in front of home plate, and he is the second strikeout victim of the day, and Daniel Altman will have to pick up where he left off with one down in the inning.
Good sequence there from Zavala. Saw that Jordan was all over the fastball, then back-to-back breaking pitches. He was way early.
First pitch to Daniel Altman skips into the dirt, 1-0. Nice snag by Gregson to keep Johnson honest at first. He stays there. Altman's 1 for 2, a single to center field, and then a strikeout. A couple of RBI. That was in the second inning with that 2-out single. They scored all 3 runs in that second inning with 2 outs. Another pitch misses in the dirt to the senior second baseman, and he finds himself out in front at 2-0. Talked about it earlier, but you could call it somewhat of a 4-for-4 day for Daniel Altman yesterday. 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Works the same. Johnson shows steal, holds up as Altman pops this one down the third base line. Foul territory. Chasing after it is Randall. He snags his glove towards it, but it bounces on the dirt and gets away from the third baseman in foul territory. A lot of room to roam, but he couldn't find it. It's 2-1 as Altman stays alive.
Yeah, Randall at short yesterday, so didn't have the luxury of having some time at the hot corner and dealing with that foul territory area. Had a bit more space than he thought he did towards that metal grandstand. Reached out, but it was too far in front.
Altman is ready. Runner goes. This one hits off the pitcher. Rolls towards third. There's still a play for Randall. Johnson at second base took a turn, and he has to retreat for the second base bag. Overhand toss to second to try and get Johnson out. They can't. He slides back in there safely. So there are runners on first and second after the infield single by Altman. Hard hit ball that just went off the leg of Zavala and then ricocheted towards third base.
And that could have been a wild 1-5-6 fielder's choice, but really hard hit ball by Daniel Altman. 2 hits on the day now, so continues to get on base at a high clip. And here's another guy who's been doing just that as well in Toplansky.
Zavala stares in, comes set at the chest, looks towards Johnson at second and fires away. Skips the pitch up to the plate, 1-0. Hunter Toplansky 1 for 1 with a homer and a hit by pitch. He's been hit by a pitch in back-to-back games, and as we mentioned off the air, getting a little bit frustrated that he's getting hit by a pitch so much, but sure he take the base in whatever way he can. Big lead at first for Altman, shorter lead at second for Johnson. High fastball misses 2-0. Because Toplansky is batting from the left side, the switch hitter is forcing the first baseman to play all the way back, maybe a foot or 2 away from the outfield grass. Same deal for the second baseman to Jesus. Check towards second base. Does Zavala. Won't toss back there, nothing going as Johnson retreats back to the base. Speed on the pass for Baylor with Johnson at second and Altman at first. Base hit scores Johnson, and if you put it deep enough, Altman as well. Zavala looks to second, brings it to the plate. Toplansky takes it outside, 3-0. 295 hitter is Toplansky, hit north of 300 last year. Expected to be a breakout bat, and he's finally finding his rhythm now. Said he was hitting .500 in his last 6 games if you include this one. Pitch on the way, inside corner, called strike 1. Had the red light, didn't even think about swinging there. Now he resets and digs back in. He'll await the 80th pitch of the afternoon from Isaiah Zavala. Zavala's given up 6 runs, all of which were earned. Looks to second. Bouncing around out there is Johnson trying to get in his head. Runners go. Hit and run is on as Toplansky swings and lines this one out of play down the third base line. That's strike 2. Could call it a hit and run, Joe, but with 3 balls in the count and a 3-1 count, you're either running because he's going to swing or you're running because it's a free base.
Another full count work by Toplansky, and you mentioned the low strikeout rate in recent games. Can't expect him to go down swinging here.
Set at the chest, runners go. Swing, line drive over the second base, rather shortstop's head into left field. Johnson's going to soar. Altman got a great jump, but he's just going to go first to third as Hunter Toplansky stays perfect today with an RBI single into left field. Hit it pretty well, but by no means north of 100 miles an hour. Just bloops it over the shortstop's head as it looks like a meatball as it rolls into left field and plates a run. And Zach Mazok with another opportunity with a runner in scoring position.
And 13 RBIs now in the last. Make it 6 games for Hunter Toplansky. Just been tearing the cover off the ball, but being able to find hits in any way he can. That one off the end of the bat, not trying to do too much. Pokes it into left field.
Zach Mazok 1 for 2. Swinging first pitch, high fly ball right field. This one towards the gap at the shoestrings. The catch is made. Rather, it is not made. It landed in the dirt. Looked like the catch was made by Tormes. RBI single for Zach Mazok, just doing his job. A guy who, I think we mentioned it, but he was swinging for the fences, and he admitted it last year in his freshman year. He just wanted to see that ball go over the fence. It was home run or bust. This year, mentality is different. He doesn't have a home run this year, and he's hitting .400. He gets that base hit and run batted in, and Cole Posey will dig in with runners on first and second and 1 out with 2 runs already across.
Kind of an odd route taken by the right fielder, Sam Tormes. He was kind of dogging it to that ball and then reaches down. It bounces into his glove. I think he thought he maybe thought he had a routine play on the ball, but the wind making it take a dive.
Check second now, fires to Posey. Inside corner, strike 1. Will Posey hit that grand slam? I mean, we're going to say it like a broken record. One of the great ways that you can get back in the lineup. Thompson said it was one of his favorite memories at Baylor. Just seeing the guy who had played a lot last year, hadn't seen a whole lot of playing time. He was ready, and in his first at-bat back, he hit a homer. Not just a homer, but a grand slam at that. Breaking ball misses low, evens up the count to the senior first baseman. He's 1 for 2 today, with a single in the second inning and then a deep fly out to right in the first. Big lead at first base for Zach Mazok. 4-step lead at second for Toplansky. They'll take their secondaries as the pitch gets away from Gregson behind home plate. Thought about back-picking to first, but Mazok and Toplansky each retreat back to their respective bags, and the count moves to 2-1 on Cole Posey. Hit an inning ago and got that single. Led off the third inning. He was the only base hit that the Bears found in the third. They scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and now 2 in the fourth. They have responded to the 2 given up in the top half of the inning. Zavala fakes a throw towards second base, but just kind of stepping off, regaining his breath and figuring out how he wants to attack Cole Posey. Might be the last batter that he faces, as there are still 3 arms up in the Incarnate Word bullpen. Looks to second, fires to the plate, breaking ball, slider at that, moves inside, finds its way outside, and finds the strike zone nonetheless. It's 2-2. Still leaning in towards first base, or rather home plate. Zavala checks first base where Mazok's got about a 10-step lead. Aggressive. Bounce towards second base. It's going to get through. Base hit for Cole Posey. Round to Toplansky across third. He's going to try and score. Throw is on line on target from right field, but he beats the throw and slides in there safely. The third 3 spot put up by the Baylor Bears. They do it here in the fourth as Cole Posey continues the rally and bounces one into right field for a base hit. his first run batted in the day and his second hit of the ball game. So the 3-hitter through the 7-hitter. That is 5 hitters in the row in this Baylor lineup. Jordan, Allman, Japlansky, Mazak, and Posey, who have already recorded multi-hit games, and we're in the bottom of the 4th. Tariq Kemp's going to dig in. He's looking for his first hit of the ball game. 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout. Watches a pitch, finally lowest part of the strike zone on the outside half of home plate, 0-1. Zavala's throwing a lot more strikes, but Baylor's taking advantage of a lot more of the pitches now that they don't have to settle, I'd guess, for a walk. Check second, fires to the plate, Tariq Kemp taking. This one misses low and inside, 1-1. Next pitch will be the 90th of the afternoon for Isaiah Zavala, and I think the goal for Incarnate Word was to at least get 4 out of him. He's already given up 9 through 3 1/3, and there's runners on first and second to continue that rocky outing. Check second, fires to the plate, bounce to second. This could be a double play for ICU. Fire to second for, rather, the shortstop for 1. Cole Posey slides in there. He'll break up the double play. Meant nothing by it as he tapped Sherrill on the back saying, my bad, but not the best defensive play by the shortstop who had both feet on the second base bag as Cole Posey slid in, so it would have been tough to actually go for the relay. Fielder's choice retires the second out of the inning. Tariq Kemp goes to first, and Zach Mazak stands on third. For the moment and time being, Zavala's going to remain out there to face Cortland Castle, the 9-hitter, in the Baylor lineup.
Yeah, keep him out there for the righty-on-righty matchup. Can tell Incarnate Word likely doesn't want to have to go to their bullpen in this inning.
Cortland Castle, line drive right field. This one's going to get down for a base hit. Keep it rolling, Baylor. Tariq Kemp will round second, head to third. An RBI single for Cortland Castle. That is the 6th single of the inning for the Baylor Bears. The ship keeps on rolling, and out comes head coach for ICU, point towards the bullpen end of the outing as Ryan Schatzberger has seen enough from Isaiah Zavala. 10 runs given up so far as the circus music plays at Baylor Ballpark, and a 4-spot sits at the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more on that new pitcher, and Enzo Apodaca is going to take a crack at the plate with 2 on. This is Full on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Enzo Apodaca going to have his 4th crack at things as he digs in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. New pitcher for Incarnate Word is the right-hander Luis Rodriguez. Senior right-handed reliever has thrown just 1 inning this year, given up 1 hit and struck out 1 batter, but did not allow a run, so he's still trying to find his groove. Incarnate Word is a team that has been led by their starting pitchers going deep into ball games and not having to turn to the bullpen. It's been a different story this weekend as Baylor has plated a lot of runs against starting pitching. 10 today. They added 8 against the starting pitcher yesterday. That is 18 runs in 2 games against starting pitching, and now they turn to the bullpen with a lot of baseball left to play. Bears have 10 runs on 12 hits and 1 error, while Incarnate Word with 2 runs on 1 hit and no errors. Apodaca, just one of 2 Baylor bats, still searching for their first hit of the day. He's going to bat with 2 outs and runners on the corners. First pitch from Rodriguez, settles in at 88 miles an hour and misses over the outside part of the plate. It's 1-0. Talking about it off air, but Joe had said this is the most impressive 0 for 3 you'd ever seen. I mean, the contact has been north of 95 miles an hour on every single bat, or every single ball Apodaca's put in play as he sends another one to deep left field. Calabrese going to range over. It gets down for a hit. So Apodaca does have a hit today. He is the 8th Baylor bat, 8th starter, to find himself with a base hit as he plops that one in front of left field, plates a run, and Cortland Castle will go first to third. So he does not have to stay the most impressive hitless game you've ever seen. He's got that hit now.
Yeah, and
he's got an RBI too.
He does, and that one just 78 miles an hour off the bat. I think the first 3, all of them were over 100 off the bat. So, you know, it's not always about how hard you hit it, but where you hit it, and he put it in the perfect spot there that time for the Bears to nearly get to a double-digit lead again.
First pitch here to Ty Johnson, taken on the outside corner for strike 1. So he'll bat with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Johnson 1 for 1 with a couple of walks and a single, and 3 runs scored, keeping that on-base streak at 21 games rolling. He'll line this one to right field. He may have another base hit as Tormes dives and makes the play. Oh, golly, did he rob Ty Johnson of a base hit and a couple of RBI. Well, nothing to shake your head at as Baylor plates 5 runs at the 4th, and we're chasing more. We head to the 5th inning. Baylor baseball on top 11-2. This is Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Top of the 5th inning as Colin McKinney looks to find his groove once more. And not to say that he definitely hit a speed bump in the 4th inning, gave up 2 runs, one of which was earned, but he's only given up 1 hit through 4 innings. Walked a batter, also hit a batter with a pitch. But he's got 8 strikeouts and he's still dealing. He's got 7, 8, and 9 due up in the Incarnate Word lineup. Will be in line for the win as long as he completes these 5 innings. But Baylor would love to just keep him through 5 and then go to the bullpen. First pitch to Grayson, fouled straight back into the netting for strike 1. Mitch Thompson said it yesterday about Mason Marriott. The goal was get through 5, get you a win, and then usher you out of there. Because this, at the end of the day, is a non-conference series, and you want to keep your guys fresh for next week. Line drive left field. Gregson's got the second base hit of the day for Incarnate Word as that one bounces a couple of hops in front of Wesley Jordan. Relay it in for a base hit. So you've got to assume that mentality is the same for Colin McKinney. His pitch count sitting at 69 after the base hit. And you really don't want to go over, absolutely don't want to go over 90. On an ordinary outing, you'd be fine if McKinney was pitching this well against a Big 12 school. Why not eclipse the 100-pitch mark? First pitch to Daniel Calabrese is fouled straight back into the netting, 0-1.
Yeah, I think that's a good point you bring up because, this is like you said, non-conference for both of these teams. So I think Incarnate Word, too, probably taking it at that kind of mentality, too, not wanting to blow through your entire bullpen, not wanting to use too many of your guys' arms.
Next pitch dribbled towards the on-deck circle. Calabrese is behind 0-2. He was not a strikeout victim, but there have been 7 batters who have struck out at least once today. Rather, 6 in the Incarnate Word lineup who have been strikeout victims to McKinney. Next pitch popped up, foul territory, behind home plate. Cortland Castle removes the mask and gives it a chase, but he looks it into the netting as it goes foul. And Calabrese stays alive in the 0-2 count. Colin McKinney, redshirt freshman, has certainly made a name for himself, although the stats may not pop off the page. What he's done these past couple of outings, he's played like one of the best pitchers in the Big 12. Checks first, now comes home. Big swing and a miss. Calabrese way in front of the breaking ball. That's what you get with Colin McKinney, a guy who throws the fastball more than anything else. You've got to be guessing fastball when you're up there at the dish, and if it's that off chance you hit the breaking ball, it's tough to wait back and find it. Way out in front was Calabrese, and he is the first out of the inning and the 9th strikeout victim to Colin McKinney today.
Yeah, you can easily see that sequencing, and it has worked perfectly today for McKinney and Cortland Castle. Starting off with the fastball typically, then going to the hook later on in the count has led to plenty of Ks.
Breaking ball, first pitch to Weldon Sherrill, the 9-hitting shortstop. Tails into the inside part of home plate in the strike zone. It's 0-1. Sherrill struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. One of now 7 batters in the Incarnate Word lineup that have struck out to the redshirt freshman. Fastball outside, it misses 1-1. Colin McKinney's had some fantastic outings, but this one's got to be up there on near the top. He comes set at the belt. Short lead at first for Gregson. Now deals to the plate. Middle, it's strike 2. Well, 1-2 is the count, and he's a strike away from recording his 10th strikeout of the ball game. 75 pitches on the afternoon for Colin McKinney. Glove pinned against the belt. Green undershirt flowing all the way towards the glove. Pitches this one, fouled straight back in the netting. Sherrill's not going to make it easy. Count remains 1-2. McKinney's last outing was 6 1/3. Home game against Cincinnati. Did not give up an earned run. Gave up just 1 hit and 2 walks while striking out 10, so he's looking to match something similar to those numbers. Slider misses low and outside, 2-2 now to Weldon Sherrill. Of McKinney's outings, just 2 of which he's allowed 4 or more runs, those coming against Houston and Texas. Everything else, he's had 5 other outings where he's allowed 3 or less and 2 where he's allowed none. This pitch fouled down the first baseline, out of play. It'll keep locked at 2-2. So this another opportunity to record an outing with less than 2 runs on the year. Career high 10 strikeouts in that game against Cincinnati. And as I've already mentioned, he's close to replicating that here today. Sets at the belt, checks first, fires to home. Breaking ball outside corner, and a groan from the Baylor fans as they don't get the call to work their way. And the count functions to full against Weldon Sherrill. Swing the bat back behind the right ear. McKinney deals the payoff pitch, and Sherrill's going to keep this battle rolling. 80th pitch of the afternoon is fouled off. It's still 3-2. Sherrill came in as a pinch hitter last night. Went 1 for 2. And played some pretty good defense at shortstop afterwards. McKinney ignores the runner on first. Now comes set, fires away, swing and a miss. 10th strikeout of the day for Colin McKinney. And after a battle for Sherrill, a knockout for Colin McKinney. The punchy count racks up double digits. This could be his last batter as Cameron Cayley, the leadoff hitter in the ICU lineup. Steps up to the plate. Cam Cayley, 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single. Just 1 of 2 hits on the day for Incarnate Word. Glove pinned against the chest. Fires it towards the plate. Breaking ball that just slips out of the hand of McKinney and spikes in the dirt in front of Cortland Castle. He'll block it, and he'll toss it back towards the pitcher. Keeps the catcher, J.D. Gregson, who's running at first base, on his toes and remaining at that bag. McKinney leans the chin over the shoulder, looks towards first before delivering to the plate, and Cayley fouls it off to make it 1-1. One and one is the count. 4-step lead at first base for Gregson. The .352 hitter in Cayley awaits the pitch, takes it on the outside corner. That's strike 2, and Cayley just kind of stepping forward in the box. Squares up as if he were to shoot a three-pointer, and he just looks at Colin McKinney, flabbergasted. A nice outside fastball that puts Colin McKinney firmly in the driver's seat at 1-2. Set at the belt, checks first, fires to the plate. High and away, ball 2. McKinney's a strike away from recording a new career high in strikeouts. He's working from the stretch. He's only looking towards the plate for a second before coming set. High leg kick, the delivery. High and outside, ball 3. That's the 86th pitch of the night for Colin McKinney. Split stats here, 58 strikes to 28 balls. So 30 more finding their way in the strike zone than those that are not. McKinney is set. Payoff pitch. Runner goes. Swing, high fly ball, right field. This one has the distance to leave the park, but instead it's going to tail foul and find its way onto the Baylor berm. It's still a full count, and there's still 2 outs in the inning. Baylor's on top of this ball game, 11-2. Top of the 5th is where we stand. 11 runs on 13 hits and 1 error for the Bears. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Incarnate Word. McKinney is set. Second payoff pitch. Runner goes. Inside. Castle sticks the landing, but he doesn't get the call to go his way. Colin McKinney kind of shakes his head towards the umpire. And Incarnate Word now has 2 on with 2 outs as Cam Cayley extends his Southland Conference leading walks total to 34. That is 34 walks on the season. Something he did not do very well at Baylor.
Yeah, no, 125 hitter his last year. A year before that, not too much better in the 220s. So nice to see him find his place at Incarnate Word.
First pitch to Grant Randall. A breaking ball in the strike zone, 0-1. Where was that when you were down to that payoff pitch? Well, McKinney's still just trying to get out of his own way. 0-1 is the count. This will be his 90th pitch of the afternoon. He deals. Bounced right back to him. It hits off his chest, falls to the dirt. He'll jog towards first. Underhand toss to Posey, and have an outing, Colin McKinney. That's the end of the top of the 5th inning. Baylor still leads it 11-2 as McKinney jogs off the field with his head held high. High fives Cole Stasio and heads to the dugout. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Joe Pratt has the call from the Brazos. This is Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all of the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Eleven to 2, the Bears in control as we move into the bottom of the 5th inning with a 9-run lead, and we'll be stepping up to the plate with the heart of the lineup coming up, and these are the guys who've done most of the damage, Foster. As you mentioned, the last time these guys were stepping into the box, all of them with multi-hit games from 3 to 7, and we're not even halfway through. Well, I guess we are now.
We could be if Baylor maybe. I guess we're halfway through the technical ball game, but we were on run rule watch yesterday, and Incarnate Word scored 5 unanswered. So now Baylor just trying to keep their foot on the gas and find that 10-run lead.
Luis Rodriguez is back on the bump. He threw just 4 pitches after entering as a reliever in the 4th inning. First pitch to Wesley Jordan is tagged foul high and out of play to the right.
Well, the final line for Isaiah Zavala is 3 2/3 with 12 hits and 11 runs.
Jordan ahead of another pitch, rolls it towards the Incarnate Word dugout.
3 walks and 2 strikeouts, so he's going to finish today 2 Ks away from that 200 mark in his career.
Yeah, it's going to have to wait. Thought we were going to have that today. 0-2 pitch to Jordan, down in the dirt, 1-2. Jordan's 2 for 3. Of course, opened the scoring in this ball game. A 2-run homer to left, over 470 feet for the second time this season. Another tapper foul towards Daniel Altman in the on-deck circle, 1-2. Responded with a single his next time up in the 2nd inning, and then struck out in the 4th. 2 for 3 on the day as the next pitch misses way outside, 2-2.
More numbers on Colin McKinney. McKinney's the first Baylor pitcher to eclipse double-digit strikeouts in consecutive starts since Kendall Volts in 2007.
2-2, Jordan. It ties him up back into the screen. That's incredible.
Double-digit Ks in back-to-back starts. So Colin McKinney, he's going to be that building block in that rotation.
For sure. Freshman, or redshirt freshman, I should say, and clearly steering things in the right direction after giving up 5 earned at Texas a few weeks ago. Next pitch is inside to Jordan, 3-2.
Yeah, those are both starts that were in response to that start at Texas. Went 2 2/3 and now has bounced back in north of 11 innings pitched.
3-2. Jordan unloads on this one to deep left center field. Going back, the outfielders, they look up, it's gone. Off the light pole for the 2nd time today. Wesley Jordan has himself a round tripper. And the Bears take a 10-run lead. It's 12-2. I don't know if I've ever seen so many hard hit balls from one guy in one game, and he's just got 3 hits because all of his foul balls scorching hot down the third base line, straight back into the screen. He finally is able to square it up. First pitch to Daniel Altman, missed low and away. As the 1-0 pitch is lined through the left side of the infield, it bounces on the left field grass, a base hit for Daniel Altman. He improves to 3 for 4 on the day.
Well, don't look now, but if this trend continues, you'll have 5 guys with 3-hit games in a row, as Jordan and Altman have both now tallied those 3-hit games.
Now Hunter Toplansky's up. Switch hitter from the left side facing Rodriguez, who's ready with his 15th pitch from the stretch. It's down in the zone, called a strike 1, 89 from Rodriguez.
Second 3-hit game of Daniel Altman's Baylor career.
Takes a 4-step lead at first, being held on by Ryan Scott. Rest of the infield's playing straight up. for Hunter Toplansky. Line shot over the shortstop into left center field. A base hit for Toplansky. Altman charging around second. He will coast into third. And the Bears move up one more. They'll have him on first and third with Zach Mazok stepping up to the dish. Still no outs in the bottom of the fifth, Foster.
It's the fourth three-hit game for Wesley Jordan in a Baylor jersey, but he has never recorded 4 hits in a game with the Bears. So he'll be looking to do that when he finds his way back up to the dish in a couple innings.
Zach Mazok from the left side, he's 2 for 3. 2 RBIs recently, 1 RBI, 2 singles recently, the RBI coming in the 4th inning. First pitch he sees, down in the zone, strike 1. 80 miles an hour from Rodriguez, now working from the stretch on the first base side of the rubber. Kicks and deals. 0-1 off the end of the bat, rolled towards second. DeJesus waits for it, tosses to second for 1. Throw to first is not in time. Mazok beats it out. Altman will score from second, the second RBI of the day for Zach Mazok. Bears make it a 13-2 game.
Just doing his job. I think Zach Mazok has settled in so well to his role in just the game of baseball, not trying to do too much and trusting himself. And while we're on it, Hunter Toplansky with his 3rd 3-hit game of this season. Had a couple of them last year as well.
Now Cole Posey. Righty-on-righty matchup. Rodriguez dials in a breaking pitch at 79. Falls in 0-1 to Cole Posey. Flag in center field is gripping towards the Brazos River, straight away center. Wind playing a factor plenty of times in this game, but not likely to have too big of an impact on the final score. 13-2 we sit. Next pitch finds the zone, 0-2. Mazok's short lead at first for Cole Posey, who's also 2 for 3 today. Upright batting stance from the right side. Here's the 0-2 from Rodriguez. Breaking pitch, cut on and missed up in the zone. 3 pitches that Cole Posey sees, and he's down on strikes for the second out in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, that was the gripe against him last year. He just couldn't stay consistent in terms of you'd get a couple of base hits and then you'd fall into a rut where you strike out 3 times. And while it hasn't been that bad, he's still 2 for 4 today. And he's done his job with a run batted in, couple of singles, but that'll be something to look for as although Posey's recorded that multi-hit game, he'll look to settle into the ball game and capitalize on his appearances.
Kemp attacks the first pitch he sees, skies it towards straightaway center. A lazy fly for Cam Cayley to field, and he has it in deep center as Tyreek Kemp moves to 0 for 3 on the day, the only Baylor Bear to not have a hit in this contest. They do get a pair of runs, though, in this bottom of the 5th on the solo shot from Wesley Jordan, his 2nd bomb of the game, as they take an 11-run lead into the 6th frame. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Top of the 6th inning, Bears leading 13-2 and a new pitcher out on the mound. Relieving Colin McKinney, who goes 5 strong frames. It's Ethan Calder on to make another appearance on the season. Has already thrown in plenty of innings so far, nearing the 30-inning mark, 29 2/3. Has allowed 18 earned runs in that span, 13 walks to 30 strikeouts for the lefty. And, of course, taking over, as I said, for Colin McKinney, and an incredible start for him, Foster, and one for the ages, really.
Yeah, he went 5 innings pitched, gave up two hits, 2 runs, just 1 was earned, a couple of walks, and 10 strikeouts. And mentioned this stat in the bottom of the 5th inning, but he's the first Baylor pitcher to eclipse double-digit strikeouts in consecutive starts since Kendall Volz did it in his final start of 2007 and his first start of 2008. So, I mean, still no answer on when the last guy who had back-to-back mid-season starts or back-to-back starts within one season to have back-to-back 10-plus strikeout games, which McKinney had back-to-back with 10.
He's facing Dalton Beck, the 3-man in the Incarnate Word order. Dials in a 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball for strike 1. Apologies, mishap on the numbers there. 23 2/3 innings for Calder, nearly 24 innings pitched, and just 2 walks on the season. Next pitch is tipped into the glove of Castle, 0-2 on Beck, and that's to 20 strikeouts.
Yeah, when you have a reliever who is 20-2, I mean, the strikeout to walk is 10-1. I think that's just showing a lot of character of what this Baylor pitching staff wants to be.
Looking for number 21. Here it is. It's going to be a chopper towards first. Posey reaches down to grab it and makes the play unassisted at first for out number 1. Gets Dalton Beck for the 3rd time today.
One of the benefits about having a guy who has routinely played the middle infield spots at first base in Cole Posey is just because you have a guy who is used to seeing those ground balls. Nothing really shakes him. And although he's wearing a little bit bigger glove, he's able to handle it well, and he's played a really good defensive first base. He said the first time he was told he was going to play first or tried it out was on Thursday this week.
First pitch to Ryan Scott, low and outside, ball 1.
And as mentioned, it was the last position he had never played at the collegiate level. He said bullpen catcher counts, but he's played every other position in a collegiate game.
1-0, high hop towards third, going to get out of play, foul. Ryan Scott's the batter, he's 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. Making their 3rd trip around the batting order, and that's compared to Baylor, who has had their guys see the plate at least 4 times. 1-1 pitch, misses outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ethan Calder, fashioning a 2.25 ERA, now up to 24 innings pitched on the year. Here's the 7th pitch he throws. He's early on it, rolled towards third, backhanded by Toplansky, but 3 feet in foul ground. The lights are on at the ballpark. Gray skies overhead. They were darker before the game. They've since lightened up. Looks like the sun probably trying to peek out far to our left. Down in the left field corner above where the soccer field lies. Ethan Calder working from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Scott goes down on strikes. It's the first strikeout of the day for Ethan Calder and 21st on the season.
Want to play another game, Joe? Over under 410 feet for Wesley Jordan's home run.
Well, the last line was way, way less. 410 feet. It hit the light pole. I got to say over.
It was 411.
Wow.
So that was a tight over-under, but you did get it.
Good line. First pitch to Tony De Jesus, down in the zone, called strike 1.
A couple of 400-foot home runs. That shows just kind of the power and how comfortable Wesley Jordan has become with Division I pitching.
Absolutely is. He's played a pretty solid left field as well. Hasn't been tested today, though. As a ground ball by De Jesus towards short. Kemp is up with it on a few hops and throws well in time to get De Jesus there. So a 3-up, 3-down inning in the top of the 6th. Ethan Calder works it well as the Bears will step back into the box when we return in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bears lead at 13-2.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Thirteen to 2, Bears in control, bottom of the sixth inning on Baylor Lariat Radio. Joe Pratt, Foster Nicholas, Braden Murray are with you from the visitors' broadcast booth at the Baylor Ballpark, just behind home plate. Luis Rodriguez is back on the mound for Incarnate Word, working another inning. He's up to 22 pitches, just 5 balls. And that ERA continues to climb as the Bears continue to beat up on Cardinals pitching. First pitch is skied on the infield by Castle, ranging back the shortstop Sherrill in the shallow left center. He battles the wind, but is able to bring it down. 1 pitch, 1 out for Rodriguez, and that brings up the top of the order in Apodaca.
8 of Baylor's 9 starters have multi-hit games. 3 have 3-hit games. 5 have multi-hit games.
First pitch to Apodaca, misses low and outside. One of the guys in the starting lineup with just 1 hit. And that's rare, too. Usually he's involved in every offensive explosion for this team, but couldn't quite find some open grass in those first 3 ABs. Next pitch misses low, 2-0 to Apodaca, and then got an RBI single his last time up, stroked one down the left field line that bounced at the feet of Daniel Calabrese. 2-0. Apodaca takes low and in, called strike 1. The sun peeking out high above our left shoulders. Really no need for those lights to be on.
No, it's making it a lot brighter here at Baylor Ballpark than it needs to be.
The next pitch, Apodaca caught chasing down in the dirt, 2-2.
Rodriguez has been a good change of pace, throwing a lot more strikes than the starting pitcher Isaiah Zavala did.
He's got the red glove in front of his face from the windup he deals. And a rollover towards second. Apodaca slams his bat into the dirt. Tony De Jesus into the hole to make that play. Throws to first in time. Not an easy play made by De Jesus, but he made it look easy. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 6th for Incarnate Word.
Yeah, you spotted the frustration. I did as well. Enzo Apodaca just 1 for 5 today, and he's hit just about everything hard. That's the first ball he's put in play that he didn't hit particularly well. It just rolled over the top of it and was way out in front. Bouncer to second base.
Ty Johnson's the batter. Takes a breaking pitch on the outer half, strike 1. Yeah, you could tell Apodaca continued his frustration all the way to the dugout. Had his helmet gripping on the sides, both of his hands over his ears, and you could tell he did something with that helmet. Not sure we really need to know what he did, but the next pitch was fouled off by Ty Johnson. He's down 0-2. Gotta like the intensity, though, from him. I mean, a 13-2 ball game. A lot of guys maybe scoff at that, say it's all right, as the next pitch falls in the zone, called strike 3 to Ty Johnson. 3 pitches there gets him looking as a 3-up, 3-down inning worked. The first of the day by Incarnate Word pitching, worked by Luis Rodriguez. They'll be stepping up to bat in the top of the 7th. Bears still lead it 13-2 on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Top of the 7th frame, Bears on top 13-2. Incarnate Word back up to bat. They have just 2 runs on 2 hits today. Those 2 runs coming back in the 4th inning. They got a single off the bat of Cameron Cayley, and then a single in the 5th inning off J.D. Gregson. Ever since, no one has been able to reach base. The first pitch from Ethan Calder misses low and outside. The 11th from him. 1-0. Sam Tormos is the batter. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks today. 1 swinging, 1 looking, as the heart and bottom of this lineup haven't really done anything on Baylor pitching, as he takes a violent hack at the next pitch he sees, one that was down in the zone, 1-1. Flag in center field still blowing away towards the Brazos River. A couple kayakers on the river, paddling upstream. Not an easy day to be on the water, Foster.
Have you done it?
Of course, 1-1. Misses outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Kayaking?
Well, on this river, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you?
I haven't, no. I would not know. I believe it, though. I think they're searching for the Wesley Jordan home runs.
I think they're on the soccer field. 2-1 pitch is grounded up the middle to Kemp. He slides to make the play, but he loses his footing on the throw. Falls down to the dirt. That's going to go down as a hit for Sam Tormos. That was a really nice diving stab made by Tyreek Kemp in the dirt, but just unable to find his footing. And Tormos reaches for his first hit of the day.
Much improved defensively is Tyreek Kemp, and we'll keep hitting on that. Made the play. He just kind of stood up, and then he almost planted his foot with the side of the cleat. Lost his footing, like you had mentioned, and tripped himself, fell over, and spiked it in the ground as he threw it to Posey.
Here's J.D. Gregson. He takes outside. Righty on lefty matchup. Infield will shift to the left for him. Altman's playing 5 feet to the right of the second base bag. Tyreek Kemp at normal short. Jack Johnson is newly into the game at third, and he'll be tested here. No, he won't. It's grounded past him at the third base line and foul. Yeah, Johnson gets into the game for Hunter Toplansky. Toplansky putting in a phenomenal day at the plate. Home run, 2 singles, was hit by the pitch. Did not record an out. Calder comes set, black glove above his belt. Here's the 1-1 home. Tipped into the glove of Castle, 1-2.
Opportunity to go 11-1 in the strikeout column.
Yeah, 21 strikeouts. Has already gotten 1 in this outing, 1 back an inning ago. Looking for the first out here in the 7th. It's a foul ball high off the end of the bat of Gregson. He'll get out of play. So Ethan Calder, another appearance on the season, has given up runs in just 3 outings. Sharp ground ball to second. Altman flips to second for 1, and Kemp's throw to first is in time for 2. 4-6-3 double play for the Bears. They back up Ethan Calder after the leadoff single. And now with 2 gone, here's Daniel Calabrese. Calder allowed 4 earned runs in his appearance against Cincinnati. His last earned runs before that was in the opening weekend of the season on February 18th. Allowed 4 runs on 7 hits in 3 frames. That was a game that Baylor went on to win anyway. His first pitch missed the zone to Calabrese, who's 0 for 2. Infield and outfield playing straight up. The 1-0 pitch. Calabrese lunges down and swings at a breaking ball that finished down beneath his knees. 82 on the gun from Calder. Has thrown just 6 balls to 15 strikeouts.
We can note now that Baylor came away in the softball field with a 2-1 win over Texas Tech.
1-1, hard hit on the ground towards Johnson, just underneath his glove as he dove to his left. But it gets through into left field for a base hit, second of the inning for Incarnate Word. That'll bring up the 9-man in Weldon Sherrill.
It was a walk-off single for Baylor after giving up a game-tying home run in the top of the 7th inning. Casey West came away with a walk-off RBI single to finish off the ball game.
That's a big win, much-needed win for them. Now, a loss last night, so 4-10 in conference play, that'll put them. Calder checks at first. He's going to have a play there. Calabrese was caught stranded in the base paths He was getting into his secondary lead. Calder with a great move as a lefty over to first, and a nice job by Cole Posey to apply the tag. Dead to rights at first, they had Daniel Calabrese, and what a way to end the top of the 7th inning for the Bears. 2 hits but no runs across. They leave nobody on base, and they still lead it 13-2 as we navigate to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Stretch time at the ballpark. Bears on top by 11.
Hey there, Bears! Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and leading off for Baylor, none other than Wesley Jordan, the man who has blasted, well, not only 2 home runs today, 2 home runs over 410 feet. And he'll be leading off. He is 3 for 4, struck out in the 4th, a pair of homers, as I said, an RBI single in the 2nd. Likes the first pitch he sees, but fouls it off. And I don't think anybody has swung the bat more today than Wesley Jordan. So many foul balls that he's ticked off, and he sends this one towards straightaway center field, carrying back, but the yard's going to hold it. Just shy of his 3rd homer of the day, as Cam Cayley brings it in ahead of the warning track, and Wesley Jordan's the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
Well, an unconventional 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th for Baylor. So if you look at it, there have been 1-2-3 innings since the 6th. 9 up, 9 down.
Yeah, it was a single, then a double play, and then a pickoff after a single. Daniel Altman takes low and outside, strike 1. Altman also a great day at the plate. Since striking out in the 1st inning, he's 3 for 3. 2 RBI single, and then a pair of singles after that in the 4th and 5th. He scored runs on those trips to the base paths. He's down 0-2 here. Infield, outfield playing straight up. Here it comes. Down in the dirt, 1-2. Nice block by Gregson.
Searching for his first ever 4-hit game is Daniel Altman.
Was able to reach base 3 times last night.
4 times. 3 walks and a hit by pitch.
That's right. 3 walks tied a season high on the year for Baylor. 1-2. Misses the zone down in the dirt. Squeezes through the wickets of Gregson. 2-2 the count. Has 1 home run on the season, too. Came a few weeks ago. Flag in center field, helping that cause. Here's the 2-2. Breaking pitch upstairs. He's worked it full. See some frustration there from Rodriguez. Up to 38 pitches now, just 10 balls. Red glove is in front of his face. He'll be working from the windup with the all-black jerseys, white pants. He deals. Fastball tipped into the glove of Gregson, strike 3. Altman goes down by way of the K for the 2nd time today, but still an impressive 3 for 5 at the plate.
Good cut. He was certainly searching for a base hit, just couldn't come away with it.
And now this would be Hunter Toplansky, but of course he was replaced by Jack Johnson an inning ago in the field, just trying to get some guys some more looks, as Jack Johnson's been up to the plate a lot. He leads this team in at-bats. Or I should say, Hunter Toplansky leads the team in at-bats. Jack Johnson's a guy who's had a far less sample size at the plate.
Strikeout and a walk. That is it for Jack Johnson this year. By the way, the baseball fans have showed up. Brad and Linda Livingstone sitting front row.
Probably making their way over from the softball game. Next pitch that Rodriguez throws is the first one to Jack Johnson, up and inside, 1-0.
Well, imagine if you come to Baylor Ballpark, you see the 13 runs scored in the first 5 innings, and then you head over to softball, see the epic win, and then you come back here.
Line shot deep into left center field, going back on it. Cayley looking up. That ball is gone. A solo home run for Jack Johnson, his first of the season. And he gives the Baylor Bears a 14-2 lead over everything in deep center. And the first home run as a Baylor Bear for Jack Johnson. That had to feel good.
Especially in the pinch hit. Limited opportunities, but making the most of the ones he has.
Mazok takes upstairs, 1-0. Just 65 at-bats last year for Jack Johnson. Had one AB going into that home run. Next pitch misses low. Mazok's had a great day at the plate, too. 2 for 3. Struck the ball well. Has reached on a fielder's choice as well. And the next pitch is 2-0, misses low and away. 3-0, he's in the driver's seat. Mazok not in the lineup yesterday. But the DH today takes down and inside. Flips the bat towards the third base dugout. He's on his way to first with 2 gone.
Yeah, reached base 3 times. He's got a couple of singles, runs scored, and now a run batted in as well, and now a walk. Prompts a pitching change for Incarnate Word.
Yeah, that'll be the day for Luis Rodriguez. This was just his 3rd appearance of the season and goes way beyond his season high for the year. 1 inning pitched at Tarleton State on March 26th, and then a week later at New Orleans, he wasn't able to record a single out, gave up just 1 hit, or gave up 1 hit in the 1 batter he faced. And now a new pitcher will come into the game for Incarnate Word, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll tell you who that arm is when we return on Baylor Lariat Radio. Bears lead at 14-2.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
New pitcher for Incarnate Word, Edward Mendoza, entering the game, having thrown just 2 1/3 innings pitched this season, 1 strikeout to 7 walks, and an ERA that is just beneath 20 at 19.29. He'll be facing Cole Posey as the first batter he'll face. Posey is 2 for 3 on the day, 2 outs in the inning. Zach Mazok stands on first. They already have 1 run across in this 7th inning. It was the first home run of Jack Johnson's Baylor and collegiate career. And now Cole Posey digs in with the Bears well in control. 14-2, 17 hits on the board. And now a righty-on-righty matchup. Posey from the right side, white batting gloves with the all-black bat. Takes low and outside, strike 1. Posey played 53 games for the Bears last year. And it really seems like we're seeing the 2023 Cole Posey starting to shine in this weekend series. Next pitch misses outside 1-1.
When asked if Cole Posey would be the everyday guy last night, Mitch Thompson said, well, if I write him in the lineup card, yeah, but still wants to see more out of Cole before committing.
1-1, takes a hack at a pitch down in the zone off the end of the bat, sends it to deep right field, back on it, Tormus, and he has it on the warning track for out number 3. One trailing away from him, battling the wind, and it's the third out. Posey is retired. Mazak is left on first. Jack Johnson hits his first home run as a Baylor Bear, and we move into the top of the 8th inning on Baylor Lariat Radio. Baylor leads 14-2.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Fourteen to 2, Bears lead it, and Gabe Craig will make his way onto the mound for an appearance with the Bears. He has already appeared in 4 games so far this year. This will be his 5th. An 11.57 ERA, 2 1/3 innings pitched, has allowed 4 runs, 3 of which were earned, has struck out 6 and walked 3. Batters hitting at a .222 clip against him. Also have some defensive substitutions as well. Cade Fletcher will enter the game in right field for Enzo Apodaca. Caleb Bergman moves into center. He had the start in last night's game, had 3 hits. He replaces Ty Johnson. And Chase Womack will sub for Daniel Altman at second base. The freshman receives the throw from Cortland Castle. Bears are done warming up in the top of the 8th inning. Craig set to make his 5th appearance.
Gabe Craig really settled in the role as closer last year for his high strikeout stuff, but he was almost a specialist, battled some injuries and still trying to find his rhythm this year as he's done a bit of the same, and he just hasn't found that rhythm. He's got those 6 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings pitched, but he's also given up 4 runs.
Tall righty deals. First pitch, fastball at 91. Too far outside to Weldon Sherrill, the 9-man in the lineup, hitting .304, 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. Ahead in the count, 1-0. And here it comes, a breaking ball that's down by his ankles, 2-0. Yeah, Craig, 3 scoreless appearances. His last one coming against Abilene Christian. He did allow a run, didn't record any outs, but the run was unearned. Next pitch hits Sherrill's elbow guard. It pops off, falls onto the dirt. He'll be on his way to first. Didn't even flinch as it just hits right on the padding. Well, that's what it's designed to do, Foster, in the perfect place. And he's aboard to lead off hit by pitch for Incarnate Word in the 8th.
Well, it's supposed to protect, but it's not supposed to fly off your arm when you get nailed with a 92-mile-an-hour pitch, and that one just shook up Sherrill. I mean, you didn't see it, didn't flinch, jogged down to first. He's A-okay, but almost a scary moment as that went flying off when it made contact.
Short lead at first, batting gloves in his left hand. The first pitch is dialed in to Cam Cayley, down by his knees, 0-1. Cayley making his return to the Baylor Ballpark. He is 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the first inning, was able to knock the first hit of the game for Incarnate Word in the 4th, and now he has his second hit of the game, rolling this one through the right side into right field for Cade Fletcher. They'll have him on first and second with nobody out as Cam Cayley continues his hot streak.
Well, that's another multi-hit game for Cayley. He now has more hits in this weekend series than he did as a Baylor Bear all of last year.
Entered this weekend at a 343 clip, 35 hits. Now he's up to 37. He's got 2 more today, so nearing the 40 hit mark. First pitch to Grant Randall, missed low, down by his ankles. 1-0 on the breaking ball. Runners are on first and second. They take their leads and field playing straight up with nobody out. The 1-0 pitch from Craig. Breaking ball that turns in and catches the zone 1-1.
Haley also leading the Southlands Conference in walks. That's not something he did a whole lot of. As a pitcher, he didn't walk a whole lot of batters, and as a hitter, he hadn't until he came to this Incarnate Word team.
Next pitch finds the zone. Craig's ahead 1-2. Yeah, he batted .125 in just 21 games last year and threw 49 innings as a pitcher. Next pitch, poked off the end of the bat. Diving stab by Posey is up with it, throwing to second. Kemp's throw to first is not going to be made, as he just pump fake, spins around, and looks at third to hold the runner there. They get the easy out at second, but a play that was really impressively made by Cole Posey, having to lunge to his right. They get 1 out, runners on the corners. Brings up Dalton Beck.
Yeah, nice play by Posey, showing off that middle infield skill. Laid out and from the seat of his pants, tossed it to Tariq Kemp, who made a nice 360 jump to third to make sure the runner wasn't going to try and score.
First pitch to Beck. Hits the box, 0-1. 80 miles an hour from Gabe Craig. Beck is 0 for 2. He walked in the 4th. Struck out back in the first inning. Hit a home run in last night's game as he fans over top of a breaking pitch here, 0-2. Got off to a scorching hot start to the season, did Dalton Beck. 3 3-hit games in his first 6 contests for Incarnate Word this year. 0-2 to him. Misses low and outside.
Ready for another over-under?
I'm ready.
Jack Johnson, 425 to dead center field.
Man.
Over or under?
Under.
430.
Man.
Over the batter's eye. First career collegiate home run.
1-2. Beck checks his swing, and he's rung up. Strike 3. 7th on the season for Gabe Craig. Improves that strikeout to walk ratio 7-3. As mentioned, allowed 3 earned runs in 1 appearance. He has 3 earned runs this season, but that all came against Indiana on February 25th. And this is his first appearance since a February 28th game against Abilene Christian.
Battling injuries, had to sideline for a while, but encouraging that he's out there today.
Yeah, allowed the first 2 base runners he saw on base, and now 2 quick outs as he gets the first pitch strike on Matt Marlowe, a pinch hitter, batting in the spot for Ryan Scott, who was 0 for 3 today. He reached on an error in the 4th inning and struck out twice. 188 on the year is Marlowe. 3-hopper to short. Kemp will make the easy play to second. Womack is there. A flip play to end the top of the 8th inning. Bears still in control 14-3 as Incarnate Word strands a man just 90 feet away. We move into the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Bottom half of the 8th inning. Welcome back into Baylor Lariat Radio. Joe Pratt, Foster Nicholas are with you. Game 2 of this 3-game set with Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word being held to just 2 runs so far in this game. They're a team that hits a lot better at their home ballpark compared to on the road. Under 4 runs averaged per game for them on the road, over 11 at home. And we've seen some of their road struggles here this weekend. We're able to put up 7 in last night's game, but just 2 runs and 5 hits in this contest today. Here's Edward Mendoza. They got a plethora of defensive substitutions for Incarnate Word. In the first pitch to Tyree Kemp, misses in the dirt low.
Luca Boscarino out there doing the catching for J.D. Gregson out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Also a new left fielder out there, which we'll get you after the next pitch.
Mendoza deals. 1-0 is skied into straightaway center. Back is the center fielder Cayley, settles under it and has out number 1 from Kemp. 2 pitches, 1 out.
Sterling Sutcliffe out there in left field for Calabrese.
Yeah, second game in a row that Calabrese has been replaced. One of the outfielders, corner outfielders, has been replaced. Last night it was Sam Liddington. Was replaced for Sam Tormus, who got the start there today. He's still out in right field. Castle takes down low. I should say Braden Buchanan batting in the spot for Cortland Castle. 1-0 to him, batting .130 on the year, 3 hits. Here's the 1-0. Missed down in the dirt, low and away. And he also got into the game last night, 1 for 2. Knocked his 3rd hit of the season. Here's the 8th pitch upcoming from Edward Mendoza. The 2-0 pitch is sent into right field. A high pop-up. Battling the sun and the wind as the right fielder brings it down in the alleyway. 2 outs. So 2 lazy flies off the bat of the Baylor bats. And there's 2 gone. So Mendoza's really settled things down, keeping that pitch count low. He's a transfer out of Temple College. Was there for the 2022 season. Appeared in 11 games, a 4.60 ERA, 10 strikeouts in 15 innings, and that strikeout to walk ratio has been a struggle for him this season. First pitch is a strike to Cade Fletcher, though, who bats in the spot for Enzo Apodaca. Mendoza, red glove above his belt from the stretch. A high leg kick, he moves home. Line shot over the head of the third baseman. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Cade Fletcher chases his way to second and is in with a stand-up double with 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th.
9 different Baylor batters with base hits today. As the only starter who couldn't do it was Tariq Kemp, but Cade Fletcher making up for it to make it 9.
First extra base hit on the season for Buchanan. Last appearance for Edward Mendoza came on March 4th, just a 1/3 of an inning against Prairie View A&M. A game that they would go on to win. Caleb Bergman is the number 2 man in the order, and the ball gets away from the new catcher. On to third goes Cade Fletcher. A wild pitch from Edward Mendoza. Caleb Bergman, the batter, at a .267 clip, 4 hits on the season. That one wasn't even close, though, 1-0. Bergman had 3 hits in last night's game, though. Career high for him. Clearly saw the ball well. All of them were line drives. From the right side, facing an infield and outfield that's playing straight up off the lines. 1-0 pitch, low and outside, 2-0. Bergman's father, Brett, played here back in 1995 to 98. Was a Baylor Bear. Family ties. Bergman continuing the legacy here. Takes down low. It's 3-0.
His brother is also committed a freshman in next year's class. Top-tier freshman in Texas, top 20.
Wow. 3-0. Misses low and outside. Ball 4. He reaches. So that'll be good to have another brother duo on the team. He is committed to here, you said.
Committed to Baylor, yeah.
Yep.
Top 20 prospect in the state of Texas. Does some center field, but also a shortstop prospect. So a lot to look forward to. He's a big reason why Caleb Bergman's still on this team. I think they're excited to have them both back in the green and gold.
Yeah, Bergman obviously a likable guy on this team too. Fletcher's going to advance home. Bergman up to second on another wild pitch. One that wasn't even close to Wesley Jordan. Of course, can't go at Edward Mendoza for not wanting to pitch too close to Wesley Jordan. Got 2 home runs today. 3 for 5 on the day. That makes it a 15-2 game. Jordan from the right side, righty-on-righty matchup with the big right-hander Edward Mendoza on the bump. 9 balls to 6 strikes thrown, and there's the 10th right there. Misses outside. It's 2-0. Jordan's a transfer out of Navarro College. He played 2 seasons there, was an all-region first-team outfielder in 2023, and the next pitch backs him up off the plate, 3-0. Mendoza just continues to struggle finding the zone, and they're going to send Jordan on to first with the intentional walk. No need to try to just work his way back into the count. They'll take up the occupied first base, so runners will be on first and second with 2 gone to Chase Womack.
4th time Jordan's reached base. Of course, that one just the freest of free passes, but an absolute threat with 2 home runs, a solo shot and a 2-run shot, both clearing the 400 mark.
Here's Womack from the left side. Takes down in the dirt. See Mendoza missing way outside of these right-handed batters. Can't do that here, because those ones would have most likely hit Chase Womack for sure. Going to get a mound visit here from the catcher. Just those 2 talking things over, Foster?
Just seeing how you instill a little bit more confidence. Of course, 2 on here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 1 run already across. It's 15-2. I mean, what you're trying to do, throw strikes to Chase Womack. If he beats you, he beats you. It's going to happen, but plenty of outs still to get. Any of these guys could be the 3rd out of the inning, so the only way you can really do that is by throwing strikes. So I think that's really the message for the new catcher, Buscario, as he talks to Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza comes set. High leg kick. He moves home. 1-0 pitch. Clips the outer edge. 1-1 to Womack. 105 clip on the season. Has made 5 starts, all of which have been at second. This is his 20th at-bat on the season. 3 runs scored, a pair of RBIs. Another chance here, but he rolls it on the ground towards De Jesus at second. Quick flip to second for the force out there. And the Bears will strand 2 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Look to close out their 5th consecutive victory when we return on Baylor Lariat Radio. Bears on top, 15-2.
Hey Bears! Are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Just 3 outs away from inching closer and closer to that 500 mark on the season. The Bears sitting at a 12-17 record and a great chance to try to work their way back to an even record for the second time in the Mitch Thompson era. Of course, had a winning record after game 1 of last year, but since then has been sub 500 since, and now an opportunity for Jared Matheson to make his way back into the rotation as a reliever. He'll be in for this 9th inning of work. Has not appeared in a game since 2/3 of an inning at Houston on March 9th. He allowed 2 earned runs on 2 hits there. He comes set with the blonde glove above his belt from the stretch. First pitch is up and away to the batter for Incarnate Word. 1-0. A lot of defensive subs for the Bears in this final inning. Wesley Jordan replaced by Mason Greer. Cole Posey, the first baseman, will move out to left for him, and Mason Greer will play at first. Ticked foul straight back off the screen. Ritchie is the batter for Incarnate Word. Great to see Matheson back out there. Foster, another appearance for him. Been over a month to the day.
So a couple of guys battling back from injuries and getting some appearances today.
On the edge, 1-2. Get the called strike on Jamie Ritchie, the senior, hitting .400 on the season. Small sample size, though. This is just the 4th game he'll appear in his 6th AB. 1-2 from Matheson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Goes up and inside with the fastball. It ties him up at 94. And Jared Matheson, long awaited, but he has his 8th strikeout of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the velocity is good for Matheson. The concern, he kind of tweaked his shoulder a little bit after that Houston series, and he was working as a starter on Sundays and then didn't really settle in there. Midweek starter last year, but before that, he established himself as the 9th inning guy. That's what he did under Mitch Thompson at McLennan the year prior. And so he's kind of getting back into that role as a closer since Green has claimed that Sunday starting role.
First pitch is upstairs to Sam Tormes. Tormes is 1 for 3. He struck out twice and then responded with a single in the 7th inning. One that Tyreek Kemp made a really nice sliding stab at, but he was just unable to get to his feet and complete the throw. 1-0 pitch. Fastball ties him up off his hands, and it's fouled straight back, 1-1. Yeah, Matheson spent 2 years at McLennan County Community College, part of that national championship team, as you mentioned. 2022 first-team all-conference relief pitcher, too. Appeared in 15 games out of the bullpen, 6-0 record. Next pitch missed down in the dirt, 2-1 at just a 1.48 ERA, too.
If he gets anywhere near that form that he was in, I think Baylor would take it, even a fraction of that relief appearances.
2-1 Tormes. Finds the dirt, backhanded by Buchanan. He does the catching now for Cortland Castle. Pinch hit for him an inning ago. 3-1 the count to Tormes. Boscarino, the catcher, new catcher for J.D. Gregson, awaits on deck. And here's the 3-1. Misses down in the dirt, or low and inside. Doesn't quite find the dirt, but it does after it pops out of the glove of Braden Buchanan. And Sam Tormes is on his way to first with a walk.
Not trying to make this game any longer than it has to be. So Jared Matheson going to look to bounce back. Boscarino is not a guy who's had a whole lot of opportunities, hitting 154, 2 hits, 1 run batted in on the season. Guy on first, Tormes, also someone who hadn't seen a whole lot of action until yesterday.
Tormes goes. It's a ground ball to Tyreek Kemp. He awaits on it at short. Throws to first in time by 3 steps to get Boscarino. Second out of the frame as the runner on first moves up to second.
So aside from that 2-run 4th inning, one of which was unearned, and it was kind of just accumulation of a lot of different things, that pop-up that got lost in the wind ended up being a single. But aside from that, this Baylor pitching staff has done a great job between McKinney, Calder, Craig, and now Jared Matheson, who's looking to close this one out.
You know, this is a stat that maybe is not necessary, but I think the fewest amount of mound visits by far in a season this year today for Baylor pitching. The first pitch to Sterling Sutcliffe, misses low and inside. Buchanan had to slide over to get it. Nearly clipped his back knee, 1-0.
Yeah, just one. That coming in that 4th inning to chat things over with Colin McKinney with no outs, and then 6 pitches later he was out of the inning.
1-0. Misses in the right-hand batter's box. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. All of the pitching changes being made after the innings. No mid-inning pitching changes, which Mitch Thompson, well, we know he loves to do that. Well, he probably doesn't love to do it, but he has to do it plenty of times during the games. Next pitch is fouled straight back, 2-1.
I think you're correct about both those things. I think there's nothing that Mitch Thompson dislikes more than having to walk out there and bring attention to himself and his team by pointing to the bullpen and having to change pitchers, but hasn't had to do that today as everyone's been able to escape their respective innings and do it pretty well.
Matheson trying to do the same right here. Runner on second, 2-1 pitch. Line shot past Chase Womack into right field. Cade Fletcher throws that one in. Trying to score from second is the runner there, Sam Tormos, and he will score easily. So it's an RBI single from Sterling Sutcliffe, the pinch hitter. And they make it a 15-3 game. Inching their way closer is Incarnate Word, but still a lot of work to do. Just trying to maybe put a positive spin on this one and bring some momentum into tomorrow's contest.
Yeah, Baylor just an out away from winning the series. It'll be their third series win of the season. Actually, their fourth series win of the season. They've won a couple of Big 12 series, and they also swept Oral Roberts in the non-conference.
Yeah, all of those series wins coming here at home. Weldon Sherrill is the batter. Runner takes off. Sutcliffe's down to second. The throw gets away from Chase Womack straight up towards center field. The throw was a bit off towards right center by Braden Buchanan. Tough play for Womack to make. Wasn't able to get leather on it, and it goes by him, but the runner Sutcliffe stops at second.
So I think we can ink this one in the win column. That'll be a 5-game winning streak for Baylor, their longest since 2022. It'll be the longest winning streak under head coach Mitch Thompson. And since Coach Rod completed a 5-game winning streak in between OU, UT Arlington, and ETSU in March and April.
Fans getting loud, trying to cheer on Matheson. He's up 0-2. 2 gone. Here's the pitch. Upstairs above the helmet of Sherrill. Has to get out of the way of it. So they'll go back and do it again. Lights are on above the Baylor Ballpark. Fans have stayed strong throughout, even despite the 15-3 score. Matheson comes set with the 1-2. Here it comes. Called strike 3, and the Bears win it. Another series win and the 5th straight win of the season for the Bears. Continuing their hot streak as they take down Incarnate Word 15-3 on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, have a day, Baylor. I mean, have a weekend series. You plop these two games together. And yesterday the final score being 13-7. That means they've outscored Incarnate Word 28-10 over the course of 2 games, and we'll look to tack on more tomorrow. Time of game, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Colin McKinney gets the win. He's 3-3.
McKinney improves to 3-3. He gets the win. The Bears offense, well, they stole the show early on, putting up runs in all but 2 frames in this ball game. 1 run in the 8th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 5th, 5 in the bottom of the 4th, 3 runs in the 1st and 2nd inning. It was the pitching that really stole the show, though. Colin McKinney, 9 up, 9 down to start off this game, allowed a single to lead off the 4th inning, and went on to strike out 10 batters to get the win. Isaiah Zavala gets the loss. He goes down to 2-3. His ERA pushed up to 7.38, going just 3 2/3 of an inning, giving up 12 hits, 11 earned runs, compared to McKinney. 5 innings pitched, 2 runs, 1 of them was earned, 2 walks to 10 strikeouts. He threw 92 pitches, and the Baylor offense taking this one away as well. Just 1 of the starting 9 not being able to record a hit. Everybody reached base at least twice in this ball, or at least once in this ball game. And they were able to get a bunch of guys into the ball game as well to get some time in, as the game was already out of reach pretty early on for Incarnate Word, and the Bears will look to secure the sweep in tomorrow's game, an afternoon contest as well, kicking off at 1 p.m. local time, Central Time, here at the Baylor Ballpark, and we'll be live at 12:50 on Baylor Lariat Radio. But that's going to do it for us here in the broadcast booth at the ballpark. For myself and Foster Nicholas, we appreciate you guys for listening and tuning in to Baylor Lariat Radio, and a big win for the Bears as they take it 15-3 on Saturday over Incarnate Word, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon on Baylor Lariat Radio. Have a good night, everybody.